Hello everyone, welcome. Hello, thank you for the Nari, by the way. I was setting up, but thank you for the Nari. I appreciate the Nari. Hi guys. Hello. Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are well. What's up everyone? What's up? Nice to see y'all here. Hope you guys are doing good. It is the weekend. Yeah, well, end of the first day, but it's okay. Hello. How are y'all doing? Hope you guys are doing good. Welcome back to Limbus Company. You know how it be out. Oh, excuse me. You know how it be. Forgive me. My mouth is a little bit sore today. I've got like an ulcer or something, so it's a bit hard to. It hurts a little bit to fucking swallow. So if you hear me coughing, it's because of that. But hope you guys are doing well. Oh my god, more Naris! Oh, thank you for the additional Naris. Oh, so many Naris today, guys. We haven't even started the Faust discussion, and you're already doing and already Naris are being summoned. The entities. This is so Nari. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness. So many Naris. Thank you all for the support. I really appreciate it. This is Faust. This is Faustacular. This is relevant. Because today we're going to be reading. I know. Foreign concept for us Limbus players. But today is going to be a reading day. I'll obviously discuss more on what's going on when we, in a little second here. But first things first. I gotta collect my energy. Second, I never got to do this yesterday. Actually, I'll wait until we do the run before I do that. But what are we gonna be doing today? Let me explain that right now. So, as you can see, we have, if you didn't know, on patch day, which was Thursday, ProjectMoon did a game. They went to a game conference. It was called GDC, I think, or GCD. It's GDC, I think. One of the scenario writers where ProjectMoon went to, and I think a few other employees must have went as well. I assume so. And wrote, and they did a lecture of a how to write characters / trauma. It's pretty famous. Yeah, I assume so. It is a big place. So they did one of the employees did a announcement. They did a lecture there. And so we're going to be reading the article. Now, there was an article that was made about it in Korea. It was a Korean article. However, it was in Korean. Initially, I was going to just put it through a Google machine and then we were just going to read the shitty translations that way. But someone did the actual translations and put a translated version. So we're going to be going through a proper translated version, or at least human-made translation, for the entire article. And we're going to read, and it's going to be fun. No wonder I couldn't find it. Yeah, I had to inquire to my sources, my Korean sources about it, because I was curious if there was going to be a video on it. I was hoping that there would be a video. The first one took back in the late 1980s. Jesus. Damn, it's old. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not familiar because I'm not in that like sphere. But hello, that's cool. That's awesome. So glad to see our lovely studio be a part of it. And if I recall, it was a 30-minute lecture specifically of like trauma writing and how Project Moon does its character writing. So, and I'm like, you know what, guys? Why don't we have a read? Why don't we have a read of it and see what what is said about it, the examples that are used, discuss it, because that's what we do here. We gotta update everyone. Information. What are the new secret bosses? There are no new secret bosses yet. There are no new secret bosses. It is the original secret bosses. The new secret bosses will come in later, most likely in the next few weeks. I assume. After we do that, which will be read the article, we're then going to go claim our achievements from yesterday. We did the run yesterday. We did our second achievement run yesterday. And we actually got all of the achievements that we were hunting for, but we didn't claim it because I was EP. No, there are no new secret bosses yet. They're going to be implemented soon. They were just talking about the the future changes to the Mirror Dungeon. There's no new super boss yet. Most likely it'll be most likely it'll be maybe 2 or 3 weeks. It'll probably be at the end of the achievements, I assume, but it might be later. Who knows? But yeah, so we're gonna go over the article, and we're gonna read, and we're gonna discuss it, and it's gonna be hype. Is Honor McGregor going to be an event ID? He is an event identity, but you can't get him from the shop. No, if that's what you're asking. Any banner that is in the event, like from the event, is an event identity. So Hohenheim, Gregor, AED Gregor, and Art Blossom Faust are event identities egos, but the shop is not selling them. The shop is going to be selling Lantern Yisang and the announcers. So it's going to be selling the LCE Research announcer team. Excuse me. Again, apologies. My mouth is very sore. I'm gonna drink some water real quick, see if that makes me feel better. Excuse me. Alright, it feels a bit better. So, yeah, let me get the webpage open so we can have a look. As a note, there is one downside to this article, chat. And that downside is that it's on Reddit. I know. Sore mouth? No, I have an ulcer. And it hurts. I've had an ulcer for like the last week. Very annoying. Yeah, the biggest downside is that this is on Reddit. Which means we have to open up Reddit. I don't have a Reddit account or anything. I don't use Reddit. I don't think I ever logged on Reddit in my life. Or gone on Reddit in my life. Except for that one time we had to go on Reddit for like a wheel spin. But it is Reddit. Not Reddit. That's where the translation is, and that's where we're going to read it. Let me show you guys. Let me get it open. Don't do it. We have to open up Reddit, guys. I'm sorry. It's the only way. This is the only way. I'm just making sure everything is good here. Yeah. All right. I'm over this now. Here it is. Welcome to Reddit. ProjectMoon writer Han. Now I figured out how to pronounce his name. It's Han Yun Chung. I think Chung. It's pronounced. It's like a ch. So ProjectMoon writer Han Yun Chung. Anxiety and insecurities bring characters to life. GDC conference article, which was 2 days ago, translated from Korean. So we have a Korean translated article, and we're going to be reading over that today. Just to show you how large the article is. Yeah. It's a pretty lengthy article. which is good, because, I mean, I want to read it, so. And yeah, so this is the lead scenario writer at Project, one of the lead scenario writers. And, I'm already at 45 poison seconds. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry, we'll be fine. She's very pretty. You have to be a peak employee to work at Project Moon. You gotta understand, you have to be the peak human. So, Hohenheim is here. I love this. Okay, yes. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I have not read this. I have not read this. I have not checked it over. I have not done anything. I wanted this to be pure, you know, just on the money, and that's what we're doing. So, I'm gonna start reading now. Project Moon writer Han Yunchong, anxiety and complexes bring characters to life. I'll highlight it as I read, just so you can do it. Han Yunchong, lead scenario writer at Project Moon, took the stage at the Game Developer Conference GDC in San Francisco, USA on the 12th, which is the 12th of March, to deliver a lecture title called To Each Their Own Hell, The Journey of Writing Complex Characters in Limbus Company. And here we have Han Yunchong. Look, we're gonna figure out a reason as to why all the people are in here, but here we go. Project Moon writer Han Yunchong. During this session, writer Han explained in detail how characters with deep personal backstories breathe life into the virtual world and support the game's overall narrative. Released in 2023. Reminder, this is an article. So this is an article on this. Not like a TLDR of the event. Released in 2023 on PC, Steam, and mobile platforms, Limbus Company has recorded a peak of 250,000 concurrent users and continues to enjoy steady popularity among players worldwide. Actually, we're gonna fact check this. It actually went higher. I posted the chart. Hold on. Actually, where the fuck are they getting to? Oh, I guess they're counting. They must be adding the numbers together. I guess if you add the mobile players together, it's over 250,000. I mean, was it over like? Was it over? Yeah, it was over 200. Yeah, because it was in the daily active users. Yeah, it was over 250,000. Yeah, that is fact checked. 15 gigabytes of Roger. GDC is developer facing, not player facing. So these articles are for devs. Yeah, well, I assume this is for developers because, like, I don't think a normal person is going to care about this. Unlucky for them that we are the exception. So we're going to care about this. 250,000 concurrent. I think that is up to date on the latest. I'll have to fact check that later. And continue to steadily popularity among players worldwide. Han cited multi-layered and three-dimensional character design as the key reason the game was able to resonate so deeply with players. When the director presents the core themes and worldview of the story, glory to our director, the scenario writer goes through a process of building three-dimensional characters to convey these elements to players in a more immersive way. We are the mentally sane of the Limbus community. True. I'm here to dig deep into the everything related, you know what I'm saying? So it's good that we stay aware of this. The game's central narrative explores how each character confronts their own trauma. Or hell. In order to discover their true self. Persona! Yeah, 3D like the trailer. True, actually. 3-dimensionals like the trailer. So, yeah. Trauma, hell, their true self. Just like Persona 5 for the PS4, PS5, PS6. Where does that hell come from? Okay, hold on, I'm gonna read that later. The hell referred here is not a physical place filled with fire or demons, but rather deeply personal and psychological suffering, such as past trauma, regret, the death ego, broken relationships, Heathcliff, or self-loathing. These negative emotions act as obstacles that prevent individuals from moving forward. And here we have a, I'm actually surprised it's in English. I guess because they were going to, I assume maybe this was an English conference, maybe. But, where does that hell come from? Contradiction, a state where you can't fully be yourself. We have a little, this is the scene with Dante and the gate, where Dante pulls the sinners from. I like the question of, where does hell come from? I don't know, probably hell. We'll get to that in a second. Contradiction, a state where one cannot fully be oneself. Han emphasized that a character's hell stems from a contradiction. People possess values they cherish and flaws that restrain them. And hell is formed when these two aspects collide. Okay, we're getting some very interesting depth from the scene writer here. To create multi-dimensional characters, Han employed a method of subverting stereotypes and intertwining virtues with flaws. Okay. And here we have the Fable screenshot. Examples of how characters can become more round, like circular. We have Faust. She is intelligent. She is always right. And she is arrogant. Everyone, if you can, spam mouse right now. Spam the mouse emote. I like she, why does she have 3 tags to her? Always right. We have Heathcliff. We have simple and impulsive. Of course, of course. We have Sinclair, who is timid and easily frightened. And then we have Mersault, who is quiet and taciturn. What the fuck does taciturn mean? What is taciturn? I'm gonna Google what taciturn is. Taciturn. Of person reserved or uncommunicative in speech, saying little. Okay, yeah, well that makes sense. Taciturn. It's an A. It's a. But why doesn't it have an S there if it meant? Doesn't know English, bro. Who pronounces a C like an S, bro? That's cringe. There is no indication that the C is pronounced like an S. Okay, that's whoever made that word up. All right, put an S in there, bro. Taciturn. That would make it better. Hack. Yeah, but it's got an I in there. If it was tacturn, I would have called it like tacturn. Yeah, that would have made sense. But this is ta, and it's supposed to be now taciturn. Bro, put an S in there. Sir. Taciturn. See, it makes the same thing. Anyway, for example, Faust is portrayed as the smartest genius in the group, contrary to the user's expectations that she would always be arrogant. She reveals an underlying sense of anxiety. English is an awful English? No, it sucks all the time. I don't think I've ever said this word in my life. Heathcliff appears simple and rough, and full of rage, but demonstrates quick situational judgment and leadership in times of crisis. Poor Faust, she has anxiety. Our Faust always has anxiety. Me when my mouse is full of dread and anxiety. Sinclair is always timid and a fearful young man, yet he suddenly displays a fierce and ferocious side. Sorry, I'm fixing my microphone. Mersault is described as the most taciturn man in the group, speaking in stiff, formal language. Khan explained when fixed images of characters are deconstructed and resembled in this way, users find it interesting, and they perceive the characteristics as not so different from themselves, thereby narrowing the psychological distance. Jesus, they're manipulating us, chat. What is this? Narrative analysis of key characters. Han is pretty much saying we built them so that people can relate to these characters, and that makes them more attached. That's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up and wicked. Yeah, Mersault doesn't have a duality. He has no... Oh, wait, Faust also doesn't have a duality. Because Faust is intelligent, right, arrogant, simple and impulsive, timid and frightened, quiet and taciturn. Ahab type shit. Keeps you mind controlling. I mean, we're just discussing the article. What is this vocabulary gymnastics? I don't know. They're trying to confuse me. I don't speak big word. I speak small word. Why talk big when little word talk more? Narrative analysis of key characters. The lecture revealed specific examples of narrative construction for some of the 12 protagonists and supporting characters. The 12 protagonists were inspired by motifs from the 12 classical works. Hold on, I'm sorry, 12... Wait. 12 protagonists? I'm sorry. Are you missing... Are you missing the number there? It's supposed to be 13 protagonists. Hold on. Is this spoilers? Who is the 13th? Dante is obviously the main character, so Dante is the protagonist. Who are the... But not here. It's Dante. Dante is not the main character. I mean, I guess it says some of the... No, because it says 12 protagonists. That's obviously talking about the sinners. Dante is a facade. Oh, true. Gregor's the outcast. Yeah, there you go. So we have Hong Lu. We have Hong Lu, inspired by the classical Chinese novel, Dream of the Red Chamber. See? Big word, chat. See, the ProjectMoon community could do a big favor by reading this part. Inspired by the classic X. Not a reimagining of the X. Not a fucking... what's the word? Not a reimagining. Not a fucking remake. Not a one-for-one copy. Inspired. That's just me putting it out there that some people really expect a one-to-one replica of the book. Just for general, like in general, but it will never be one-to-one with the book. It is always an adaptation. Not 13, Ryoshu. Anyway, as I was saying, inspired by the classical Chinese novel, Dream of the Red Chamber. Scion of a wealthy family, a sheltered young master seems almost naive about how the world works. Hong Lu, the protagonist of Chapter 8, inspired by the classical novel Dream of the Red Chamber. Yeah, you know, that classical novel that everyone's read. Is a kind young master from a wealthy family who is naive about the ways of the world. However, as the story unfolds, it is revealed that his gentleness is not a genuine kindness, but a flaw stemming from an emptiness devoid of will or attachment to life. Having once felt so little value in life that he could smile even when insulted, he is now at a crossroad, facing the choice of whether to cherish his own life and let his emotions take flight. Players find themselves rooting for him to truly love life. Honglu is only reborn as a complete character when he confronts his inner contradictions. And we have, hello, a certain mysterious figure. Wait, what is this? Okay, wait, what? Hold on. Hohenheim, Chapter 7.5 LCB, regular checkup. The director gave me 2 instructions. He had to be a genius. He had to be a cynical. It had to be cynical and callous. Bro, are you telling me that Han built Hohenheim in a cave with a box of scraps? Is this a Han upscale? What is this scenario writer upscale, bro? How did you make Hohenheim? By the way, is like genuinely one of the best. Hohenheim might genuinely be like one of the best written Project Moon characters, like unironically as well. Are you telling me Kim Jae-hoon walked up and said, I want him to be a genius, I want him to be cynical and callous, and then he walked away. And then 9,000 IQ, Han came out and was like, here is one of the best written Project Moon characters. I guess we'll see what was talked about here, right? Hohenheim, the researcher who appears in Chapter 7.5 event, is an example of a character whose strengths also act as flaws. Han portrayed him not as a simple villain, but as a genius with a cynical streak. Was he ever a villain? I don't think he was ever a villain, but I guess because of his attitude. Having survived alone at the expense of his colleagues when his company collapsed. Yeah, that's a way to say it. He suffers from severe survivor's guilt. His inner desire not to lose another loved one manifests as a cold and indifferent demeanor, a contradiction, which earned him great affection from players. Oh, it did all right. I guess he was antagonistic. He was more just like a... He was kind of... Yeah, I guess he kind of was. I mean, like... I guess it's been so long since we had the checkup, right? Like it's been so long since we've had the checkup, the character growth, you know what I'm saying? We did fight him. Yeah, that's true. He did have the like more cold and I guess it's been, I mean, yeah, he was like a snarkier Faust pretty much, which fair enough. But, yeah, no, that makes sense. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, it does make sense. He was, like, I wouldn't call him antagonistic. I would say he was more like our opposing force. Right? Because I don't think he was antagonistic. I just think he was, he's just cynical and callous. But that's like the city, you know what I mean? That's like, Ishmael! Yay, Ishmael. Ishmael, from the classic novel Moby Dick. Driven by desire for revenge to find and kill Captain Ahab, she blames the captain for the tragedy that has befallen the Pequod crew. Ishmael, the protagonist of Chapter 5, inspired by the classic Moby Dick, is consumed by a blind obsession. Oh, don't let the Project Moon catch you saying that. They're gonna call you lazy. and you don't know how to write if you say blind obsession. Don't ever say that. Remember when people were like roasting this, the fact that it was like people like, oh, horrible character writing in the maid Ishmael story. They mentioned that Ishmael's allegiance to the Withering Heights was a blind obsession. They don't know how to write her character anymore. They just make her obsessed with everything. Guys, that's what they do for every character. That's what they do for every fucking character. Every single one of them has this fucking gimmick in them. I don't understand why everyone was so obsessed when the fucking maid Ishmael Uptie story came out. I mean, I know why. Some people were very vocal about it. Popular people, so. To take revenge on Captain Ahab. In the initial draft, the story was intended to end with Ishmael killing the captain. Wait, really? But this was a failed narrative in which the character failed to fully confront her own hell. I like it how the tears are tarnished blood. Does she have OCD? I mean, she's, I guess, like a sailor. But media literacy doesn't exist. Okay, so this is interesting. So they were actually gonna kill off Ahab? This is interesting. In the initial draft, the story was intended to end with Ishmael killing the captain. But this was a failed narrative in which the character failed to fully confront her own hell. If she were to kill the Ahab solely out of vengeance, it would not be Ishmael's own will, but merely a submission to the control of the mad captain. Ishmael demonstrates personal growth by confronting her own flaws and forgiving herself, thereby letting go of her blind obsession. They said it again. Time to make fun of the writing again because, again, they just said the word blind obsession. They don't know how to write Ishmael anymore, guys. Sorry. GG. They just turned their brains off. And after they just decided, yeah, we just don't know how to write anymore. So, just funny references? No, we don't believe in funny references here. We believe in reading everything at face value. Anyway, that's just me. Can you tell that I found that this thing really stupid when people were complaining about it? Yeah, I found it really stupid. We wouldn't have it to the contract too. True. Actually, well, what is her contract? Well, the contract I think is they have to wait for everyone to finish anyway. Because blind obsession measurement. Anyway, next character. Don Quixote. Inspired by the delusional noble, Don Quixote. Amnesiac hero maniac. Protagonist of our 7th main chapter. Is the person blind? It's just like a maid Ishmael. I don't think like it was supposed to be that serious. Like the reference of blind obsession is like it's just a reference. Like it's just them like, you know, the ego blind obsession, you know. She has a blind obsession. It's like a blind obsession. It's just, it's like a pun. It's like calling Greg an outcast, right? Like it was never meant to be taken more than just like funny. They call her a blind obsession. Anyway, Don Quixote, the protagonist of Chapter 7, is a blind idealist and a fixer enthusiast. However, as the story unfolds, it is revealed that her true identity is that of a blood-drinking monster called a Blood Fiend. Okay. We're just gonna spoil Don Quixote's character. I mean, fair enough, I get it. What's Project Moon without adding a little... What is Project Moon external media without putting in a little spoiler every now and then? You know, they gotta spoil some things as a treat. Who must harm others, and that her identity and dreams up to this point were all borrowed illusions. This is like, they always do this. Every time when they do external stuff, they always just do a little bit of spoilers. I mean, they didn't specifically say she didn't kill her. But, I mean, kind of. But this is like a lot more vague. And here, I feel like here being a blood feeder is like a big thing. You know, it was like a secret. Borrowed, huh? Are you gonna talk about them talking in the story? I mean, you're not wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, guys. I'm just saying this happens a lot with external Project Moon works. Like, remember the, like the anime trailer we got for the, like, Kano 9? You know? It's like that. And then it's like, oh, and then it's like the seasonal trailer where they showed off all the seasonal stuff. You know, it's like that. It's like funny, you know? I don't really care. I mean, I don't think it's really that important, but they do always tend to do this with external media. However, as the story unfolds, it is revealed that her true identity is that of a blood-drinking monster called a blood fiend who must harm others, and that her identity and dreams up to this point were all borrowed illusions. Even in the face of this despairing truth, she resolves to overcome her horrific nature and move forward with even greater passion toward her seemingly impossible dream of becoming a fixer. And here we have Han again. And we have Han added. Characters does not escape their own hell or completely overcome it as if it had never happened. I think that's supposed to be characters do not escape their hell or completely overcome as it had never happened. It is when they embrace their shortcomings and face their inner contradictions head on that they gain a deeper understanding and a stronger sense of purpose. As she concluded her lecture, the author also confessed to the personal hell that she herself is experiencing as a creator. Author Han Yoon Chung said, "Whenever I try to write a new story, I go through agonizing periods where I am stuck, and I spend the whole night staring at the monitor, plagued by severe anxiety." She continued. However, I've realized that the spark of my creativity comes precisely from that dissatisfaction and anxiety, and I am striving to face it positively. Guys, what is it with everyone over at PM having fucking extremely high anxiety and just fucking absolute, like, dissatisfaction? And there we go. That's the end. Obviously, the article didn't... I would have liked to go through this more. I mean, it was a 30-minute speech. But this was only what the article had. I would have liked to actually go through the full thing. I mean, it was 30 minutes. I'm sure that there was much more stuff spoken about it than all of this. But this is all we have access to, unless there's a video of it, but I never found the video. It is because... honestly true. Make fucking Hohenheim cynical and ingenious. And it's just like, so yes, sir. This is truly a Limbus company. True. So we got some interesting information here. Obviously, the first thing is, like, you know, we actually get to... Obviously, we know the names of all the employees that work on the Kanto at the end of the Kanto, but we actually get to see a perspective of... Remember, Han is the lead senior writer. It says it here. She is the lead senior writer at Project Moon. So, I guess it makes sense. I mean, I'm not sure how much stuff she's specifically worked on, but we know that at least she created Hohenheim, as far as we're aware. So, I assume she also, using these examples, was the one who came up with like the generalized baseline, because we know that the director comes up, he makes the Kantos, right? We know that mostly Kim Ji-hoon makes the Kantos, or at least he outlines what he wants in the Kantos, right? He did that for Kanto 9. He was like, I want this, this, and this. And then they made Kanto 9, right? And he was like, I want this, this, and this. We know that at the most she made Hohenheim, or at least she was like, she created the figure of Hohenheim who would then be obviously improved upon. So now we need the lead artist. True. Now we need one of every lead. She basically created everything important to the story. Yeah, the director gave me too much. Yeah, she created Hohenheim. Or at least she created the idea of Hohenheim. Right? Because obviously, she probably had the idea, and then she probably went to the director after, and she said, this is my idea. He probably goes thumbs up or thumbs down, right? He probably went, okay, I like that. You know, can we add this and this? And then we have, after that, we have, obviously, the team, the rest of the writers, and the teams, and then the character designers, and then they sit down, and then they flesh it out, right? Because as a note, Kim Ji-hoon, he just, as you say, he just gives them these, like, dot points. It's kind of fucking, like... And if we actually use the reference... Because, remember, this is not the only article that exists. In fact, actually, hold on, chat. Let me show you the other article real quick. Because, it actually has, like, how Kim Ji-hoon explains how he does, It has Kim Ji-hoon explain how he does writing and stuff. What the hell is this? So this is an old... I say old, it's from 2 years ago. Hold on, let me get it open. So this is an old article from 2024. It's the 9th of 2024. Where this was an interview with Kim Ji-hoon and Lee Yumi, who is pretty much the... Obviously, Kim Ji-hoon is the director, and then Lee Yumi is, like, the second in command, right? And in this article, I believe Lee Yumi explains how Kim Ji-hoon does all of this. How he does... There's our goats, by the way. Game developer conference. Yeah, so it's like where you go as a game developer to get a bunch of info, and like it's like kind of like a TED talk, but like for gamers. So I'm trying to figure out where I think it's in Lee Yumi's section where she explains how Kim Ji-hoon does all of the how he does all the like he's like very aggressive when it comes to like having the things be the way he wants. Where is it here? Yeah, here we go. Reminder, by the way, this is from 2024. An absolute monarch. He is an entity of enormous determination. Okay, this is Lee Yumi describing Kim Ji-hoon. I remember hearing that at From Software, they developed their games by having Hidetaki Miyazaki tell other scenario writers of stories that he thought of, and then having them write down what they heard, as if he was an oracle. Yes, this is the one that explains Kim Ji-hoon. Kim Ji-hoon's style is similar. The writers take a look at the scenarios and plots that he has written and skillfully supplement them with dialogue and situational context. Expanding the story with their own imaginations. I think because our stories are created with a multi-level process, there is also room for players to participate. And as you can see, here's the big thing. So by supplementing the context, do you mean that Kim Ji-hoon has left things undecided and the writers are filling in the blanks? And here you go. Now, this is the bit that explains this bit here. So this is consistent, right? So we can use this as a consistency. For example, let's say I wanted to make a boss character into a creepy, terrifying creature. I narrow down the general image and direction. Then I hand things over to Yumi. This is Kim Ji-hoon saying it. And the others. And they decide on that boss's skill patterns and skill names. Then afterward, all the chiefs and members of the scenario team, effect teams, and art team, and the SD team expand the work on the direction that I want. And we create the game while checking the work process and results and providing feedback. And then I think there was a point here where he mentions how he, like, would be over the shoulder of people if he didn't really like... I think there was a... I believe it was Lee Yumi mentioning... Here we go. Here. Before he was really obsessed with micromanaging things. He'd rather have his own way of doing things fail than go with someone else's okay way of doing things. And he was never satisfied unless he had control of everything. We also had to do a lot of retakes. Even if we were really far along with something, he'd make us redo it all from the start if he didn't like it. When things were really bad, he would sit next to the person in charge of UI and give directions for each and every pixel. And then obviously this is when he had a stress-related like health injury with his stress. And he's like, that unreasonable expectation, unreasonableness came back to bite me and took a toll on my mentally and physically. I think things have changed. I think things changed for the worse just before the release of Limbus. When I was in the middle of telling the team how to improve things, I suddenly felt an unbearable, intense pain behind my left eye. I ran to the hospital right away and had an MRI. However, they couldn't find anything wrong. In the end, they said it was stress-related. They said I had on the verge of having a stroke. Yeah, this guy is fucking stressed 24/7. I mean, he is a control freak. I mean, like, he's a control freak, but he makes peak. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what it is? He's a control freak, but it's not like you're not aware of that before you join the company, right? It's like, if you're in the company, at least nowadays, right? If you're in the company, you are aware of who your boss is, bro. It's not like a surprise. It's not like you walk into the company and it's like you're shocked with it. The man in the pink is literally pointing at you, telling you that I am your lord, and you have to listen to everything I say, and there's no fucking exception, right? But yeah, he was on the verge of having a stroke. This is before Limbus. It's been a while now before that. I think he said he's better. I had endured strong mental pressure up until that point, so it took me by surprise. That incident made me rethink my work style, focusing on trusting and relying on my team members more. I'm going to take everything upon myself now and try and leave operational decisions to each team leader as much as possible. And obviously this is where Lee Yumi comes in. By the way, if you don't know Lee Yumi is pretty much like... She is like the... If she doesn't like something, they don't do it. Pretty much. We can go over this article as well. If none of you guys have seen this article before, I don't mind going over this article. But I'll just quickly read this bit. Following Kim's change of direction, I had to fully commit to my role as team leader. However, as I used more time for management and my team for actual work decreased, to compensate for this, I allocate my work to other team members. As a result, we came to a good division of labor with the company. By the way, this was when they had like 40 members or 45 members, I think. So, yeah. Also, again, Kim Ji-hoon mentioning here that he has bipolar disorder. Like, our director is bipolar. This is something that is not new. Yeah, Lee Yumi would be the arbiter, pretty much. Though we have alleviated things to some extent, I'm sure you'll still work extremely hard as both original scenario creator and CEO. How do you manage things mentally? Not good, pretty much. I'm not confident enough to say that I self-manage very well. I have bipolar disorder, and even on my days off, I'm unable to rest mentally due to anxiety. I've been searching for a way to manage my stress while going to counseling and taking medication for the past several years. He also mentioned this medicine during the Menhera discussion. He is on heavy medication. What is bipolar disorder? It's pretty much like... It's like manic emotional states, I guess you could say. It's like frantic, it's like a mental health thing where you have extreme mood swings, like fucking 0 to 100, just boom, 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 right? A good example of this, I'm pretty sure, during the Menhera thing. Like, during the Menhera is a good example of this. When he was doing the Menhera, it was very clear that he was going through, like, a bipolar, like, a moment. You could tell, right? Because he normally doesn't act like that. Like, for example, like, but during the roadmap, he was completely fine. And then once he got to the Menhera, it fucking 0 to 100, he just got really fucking into it. Like, really aggro and aggressive into it. He wasn't aggro at us, but he got really aggro into it. And you can tell that was him being like... That was him going through a bipolar episode, right? Because obviously he was preparing for it, and the stress was getting to him. If you ask me if the work is exhausting is tough, I'd say it is, but that's the only way I can work. That's why I need to get along with myself and who I am. My biggest stress reliever is games. When I'm immersed in an interesting game, I forget all my troubles. And my anxiety and exhaustion defeats. Recently, I've liked Elden Ring. Reminder that, I'm pretty sure they delayed Kanto 6 because Elden Ring came out. I don't remember if they delayed Kanto 6 or if it was... Something got delayed by like a week because Elden Ring came out. I remember that. I've been impatient for the Elden Ring DLC to come out myself. Yeah, his ass has been playing... I also have all my ranked emotes since I've been playing for vibes. I'm pretty sure he specifically mentioned at some point that that they were gonna take like a week off to play Elden Ring, or like do like a week delay to do Elden Ring. So, man, work sure is tough today. I will distress by playing Dark Souls. I know, right? Like that is not something you say. Anyway, do you guys want me to read this article to you guys? Because we can also go over this article. It's actually quite a large article. I don't mind. It's actually a really good article. I've read this article a few times. It's not an article. This is an actual interview. So like, this is way more information. So if you guys are interested, we can go through this fully, and we can explain everything. So obviously, guys, if you weren't here recently, we were just talking about the new article, which was the GCD conference. If you want to hear me talk about this, it's at the beginning of the stream. Approximately 15 minutes into the stream, we start talking about it. So, I guess we'll talk about this article then. So, this interview, guys, is an exclusive interview with ProjectMoon CEO Kim Ji-hoon and Lee Yumi. Games have the power to allow us to forgive in this cruel world. Now, this is pretty much mostly about Library of Ruina and Lobotomy Corp. Okay? This is not related to Limbus, really. This is mainly a Lobotomy Corp and specifically Library of Ruina. This is Limbus Company. This is Library of Ruina themed. So, that's not Kim Ji-hoon. Who's a cute woman? This is Han Yoon-shun, the lead scenario writer at ProjectMoon. She created Hohenheim. Or at least she was vital into creating Hohenheim. Alright, here is this interview. Also, look how nice it is inside fucking Ham Hong Pang Pang. Pretty sure this is Ham Hong Pang Pang. I'm pretty sure they've redesigned Ham Hong Pang Pang since this. Here was the very embodiment of ProjectMoon. As if an adorned library, its featured chick wood paneled walls, a ceiling hung with warm light fixtures made from wheels, a trim leather sofa on the floor, and a bookshelf containing a Korean copy of Moby Dick. From the distance, a whimsical voice accompanied by piano floats in. Looking around, I see an antique record playing a record of Library Ruina theme song String Theocracy played by the indie band Millie. Yeah, they just have String Theocracy playing in the fucking lobby of ProjectMoon chat. Now that is fire. That's such a cool thing. This is obviously 2 years ago. They've changed this now. I believe to be more Limbus focused, I think. The incredible polished decor is said to be modeled after a pirate ship. The One Piece? And undoubtedly, the captain of this ship was Kim Ji-hoon himself. Yeah, he really modeled the ProjectMoon office chat after fucking Moby Dick, bro. He was not kidding when he said that he was Ahab. He founded this game studio, ProjectMoon, when he was a student, becoming a revolutionary hero of the Korean gaming industry. He's a revolutionary! I was joking about Ahab. No, he is literally Captain Ahab. String Theocracy record? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Millie sold, I'm pretty sure they sold these records at some point. By the way, this is a fire title, by the way. This should be his title, the revolutionary hero, bro. He's like Sabo. Dude, he's Sabo of the fucking revolution. He's the hero of the revolutionary. Had an obsession. A blind obsession, one might say. The revolutionary hero of the Korean gaming industry that created the hits Lobotomy Corporation, Library Ruina, and Limbus Company, all with a common worldview. As the creator of Project Moon, known for its cruel yet striking stories, what journey has he taken that led him to create stories wildly popular around the world? How has he, as CEO, steered through the stormy seas of the game industry? An industry that is both art and business. Our team of Indie Intelligence Network reporters were on pins and needles in anticipation for the entrance of a gruff captain as we took our seats. This article is translated in Japanese, Chinese, Korean. Alright, here we go. The following content spoiled about Library of Ruina and its endings. So, there we go in. A childhood of suffering and hardship. So here we have Kim Ji-hoon and Lee Yumi. Looking snazzy. Love to say it. My director looking great as per usual. My name is Kim Ji-hoon. I am the CEO of Project Moon, and I also serve as director and scenario writer. At my company, I've produced the titles Lobotomy Corporation, Lobotomy, Library of Ruina, and Limbus Company. Thank you for coming today. I am Lee Yumi, a Project Moon founding member and head of the system planning team. Nice to meet you. She's pretty much, if you don't know who Lee Yumi is, chat, she is pretty much Kim Ji-hoon's right-hand man. I'm Daichi Saito, CEO of WS Playground. As a huge fan of Project Moon titles, and as a representation of the rising East Asian game studios like yourself, I would like to ask you questions from both perspectives. First, I'd like to ask Mr. Kim of his life history as the leader of Project Moon. What sequence of events has led you to aspire to be a game developer? I was born in 1992, making me 32 years old this year. Chat, he is 34 years old this year. Or I should say 34 years young. Okay, old is for like 50 and over. I first came in contact with games thanks to a childhood friend of mine. They knew a lot about computers, and one day they said, hey, there are some fun games called Counter-Strike and Half-Life on a place called Steam. Which became my first gaming experience. Half-Life especially had a big impact on my life. This is very important. He's like me. This is very important. My director glazes Gabe Newell. Okay? That is my director glazes Valve and Gabe Newell. Do you see how much money this man puts into Valve, bro? This man puts $10,000 billion into Steam every time he streams, bro. That's where Lob Corp came from. At the same time, I watched a lot of movies. I'd go to a rental video store. Yes, rental video stores existed at that time. About twice a week, renting about 3 movies at a time, watching just about everything. I think I was almost entirely absorbed in games and movies during my middle school years. So you must have come in contact with all sorts of titles since you were a kid. As a Japanese person, I feel a close sense of kinship with many aspects of Project Moon titles. Did you also consume Japanese works? Kim: of course, I love Japanese games and animes. This is also very important. I will explain the references why. At first, I watched Neon Genesis Evangelion. But what really won me over was Gurren Lagann. If you remember, now I'm gonna highlight this bit, because if you remember, during the second project, well, during one of the live streams that Kim Ji-hoon was doing, where he was, what do you call it? Talking about, like, he was playing through the dungeon. Right? He was humming, he was singing both the songs. He was singing the theme songs of both of these fucking shows. He was humming. He was humming them. Which I saw when I was in middle school. The title is what surprised me to delve into all sorts of Japanese anime. The Melancholy of Haruhi Surimiya, The Familiar of Zero, Lucky Star. In terms of dramas, I watched Bambino, Train Man, and Boys Over Flowers. At any rate, I couldn't get enough. Yes, my director watches Peak. How did you know? Gurren Lagann was what really got me hooked. Honestly, not a fucking bad thing. But I think I prefer romantic comedies and what's referred to as the slice of life. I tend to be drawn more to conversation rooted in everyday life and exchanges of small talk rather than exaggerated end of the earth action. Yeah, this makes sense considering the games are very yap focused. I have the same preference when it comes to games. I like that you can find such conversation in Japanese games. For example, the very refined, well thought out lines in The Tales of Destiny. Are you fucking kidding me? My director knows peak! I'm telling you guys, not a single bad pick from my director. The well thought out lines in Tales of Destiny have had a strong impression on me, even to this day. He's our goat. The main character names in Limbus Company have all been taken from famous works of literature from around the world. Did you have a long interest in literature as well? I didn't know he knew ball. When I'm at a Fizz Bump Kinji Hood, one day, dude, maybe. Of course, what Limbus pays homage is to the books. I can call my favorite. I've always been interested in books ever since I was a kid. Unfortunately, that is where me and Kim Ji-hoon's paths differentiate. Starting with complete collections of children's literature, and by the time I was a teen, I was drawn to cultural and immersed myself in the classicals. If I had to list my top 3 literature picks, okay, this is very important. I'd choose Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami, Damien by Hermann Hesse, and The Stranger by Albert Camus. Now, forgive me, I have no clue what the Norwegian Wood is. Obviously, I know these two, but I actually have no clue what the Norwegian Wood is. So this is how you know, okay, that this is why Sinclair and Meursault are his favorite. Does anyone who reads book, can you tell me what the Norwegian Wood is? I have no clue. As I've said, I do not read books. Are there any classical book gamers? Sorry, I was drinking water. If you want to read any classics, you can find them for free online, thanks to the Gutenberg Institute. Well, that would be useful. Maybe one day we'll have to read. A wood from Norway. Thank you. Here you go. This is a big one. This is why Kano 3 was the first major fucking Kanto that we got from Limbus Company. Damien in particular was one novel that saved me as I read it during my mentally unstable adolescent years. It gave me the will to hold on to hope and continue living. I still sometimes reread it. The Stranger was a novel I pushed myself to read while in middle school but didn't fully comprehend. But strangely, I had a desire to understand it someday. So I read a whole bunch of related books and their analyses, and in the process came across existentialism, which was how I became interested in philosophy. The will to live. So your enthusiasm for games, movies, and literature and fiction of all kinds is what became the basis for your current work. Now this is the big information, guys, okay? This is the big like dump of information where it's like, okay, this is where you get serious. This is the first time I'm saying this publicly, but I was mentally and physically abused by my mother as a young child. So for me in such a situation, fiction was also a way of escaping my harsh reality to another world. At the same time, I think I also learned through stories about human emotions and how families are. As I said earlier, I tend to be drawn to scenes of everyday conversation, and I think this is the source for that. In my youth, it was my dream to quickly move out of the family house. I threw myself into creating games with the determination to never return to my parents. Several times I failed and I was overcome with despair, but deep within my heart, I had an anger-like feeling that kept me together and that would boil over, making me stand back up. My dark childhood memories of suffering form the basis of my creations. Yeah, so you know, Kanto 9 must have... This is how you know Kanto 9 was a fucking banger. Okay? Kanto 9 is literally this thing. It is literally this line. Especially Kanto 9. Okay? That's why C9 characterization was so fucking good. It was fucking personal. That shit was personal. And they made that shit fucking personal and it really fucking hit. I'm pretty sure C9 was the one I feel like a lot of people got fucked up by because of just how, like, fucking raw the fucking abuse was in that. Valentino was his mom. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he used it as a basis. But we will never know, right? We don't know. The appeal of ProjectMoon works is undeniable in their stories. They are tragic yet leave you with a feeling of hope in some way. I am in pursuit of beautiful songs and praise for people, which shine the light of hope on dark lives. What a fucking high school quote, by the way. What a fucking banger line, dude. I'm in pursuit of beautiful songs of praise for people which shine the light of hope on dark lives. Bro is speaking like the fucking main character, the main protagonist of like Gurren Lagann, bro. That's literally it. For example, when developing Ruina, 2 I emphasized deeply with Angela and Roland, and wrote a plot so that they could overcome their dark past. Get it? Songs? Kanto? Kanto is a song? After Ruina release, we received feedback from players who had played the game, saying that Angela's actions seemed rushed. This was something that even I myself had not realized. But the reason for this was perhaps because my wish to overcome the past in my heart was reflected as a glimmer hope for the 2 characters. To be honest, Angela sometimes seemed hasty to me when I played Ruina. However, I was swept away by something compelling. I was confused by Angela and the enormity of her existence, while also empathizing with her, and in the end, I was even made to feel like I wanted to forgive her. It might be insensitive for me to ask this, but does the character of Angela symbolize something? A presence that the player can grant forgiveness to. This is only my own personal story, but as I mentioned before, I was abused by my mother, and it was very traumatic for me. For this reason, I still haven't forgiven her. However, I hope that someday I can come to a place where I can forgive her. I believe this conflict, in which you can't truly forgive someone, but you want to, has been experienced not just by myself, but a considerable number of people. One theme entrusted to Angela and Roland, and more strictly speaking, the story and characters, is exactly this conflict surrounding forgiveness. At the same time, Angela herself is also a symbol of the player's wishes. This world is entirely full of injustice. However, even if you were to resolve these injustices one by one, new problems would crop up, leading people to give up, thinking that the world won't get better anyway. Angela is also a woman devastated by the reality of the story's world. Angela is the object that asks the player whether they can truly forgive a woman who has been devastated by the world's injustices and has grown rash. Firstly, I wanted to thank you for sharing such a personal story. With that said, I'd like to talk about my own personal experience, as impertinent as they may be. To tell the truth, I have friends who are ProjectMoon fans, and one of them is a woman who has experienced domestic violence and was forced to live in a shelter in Japan. I understand that your experience was reflected in only one part of the game, but I would venture to say that there are a lot of people in the world who suffer under similar circumstances, and I would like to tell you that your work has been a great solace to them. I'm very grateful that they felt a personal connection to the game. My experience is ultimately only reflected partially in my creations, as is the case with other creators, and I did not intentionally aim for a specific theme or try to draw on people's sympathies. I do, however, think it was a result of me succeeding at conveying something from my depths in a way that I wanted to write. We've received a lot of feedback from fans around the world, and a lot of those fans tell of family issues, and some tell us of other painful memories. To be told by such players that we cheered them up makes me very happy and gives me a sense of reward. Go to director. I think the player choosing between forgiving someone or not, forgiving someone or not forgiving them, is an experience that can only come from a game. How much of this was intentional? To forgive or not forgive is the sole choice given during Ruina. For me, it was an exceedingly difficult choice to make, and that's why I wanted the player to think about it seriously, leading me to choose the multiple choice format. I personally think that forgiveness is the correct choice. If you go on with life holding on to anger, the only thing that will remain in the world is tragedy. But if you reflect back on yourself, you'll see a part of you that haven't been able to forgive. Forgiveness can be difficult and painful. That's why I wanted to ask all the players what they would do. Choices force the players to take action. The choice existing is the reason why the question arises, and the player must answer it. Angela and Roland overcome their personal issues after this choice, and I feel that there was a representation of strong hostility towards society, the wings, and the city. Was there a reason why the city was depicted as a place full of distrust, poverty, and hatred? This is also very important, by the way. I think that, too, is a projection of my personal outlook on the world. I'm timid and distrustful of others. Honestly, completely valid. And I'm always tormented by anxiety. I tend to have a bias that makes me look at the world as a cruel place where the strong prey on the weak. Even the interpersonal relationships. You may have a good relationship temporarily, but you may also be betrayed due to the other's interests. You may be abandoned at a lonely point. But I want to believe that in even such a world, there is warmth and love somewhere. But I can't believe it. My world is a mix of these conflicting feelings. Pretty much every ProjectMoon game is just about hope maxing. I was born and raised in a Korean city. So the settings of my work tend to be centered around the city and my Korean mindset. And a way of thinking may be reflected in my works, even if I'm not aware of it. Watching the stream from the beginning to see the article reaction. This is also very important. This is based on his setting. It's not like he has multiple global knowledge or anything. As content is consumed globally, I'm always anxious about my games not reflecting diverse views. However, generally speaking, I cannot depict what I have not seen. Even if I could, I wouldn't be fully convinced of it. So it'd be the same as not being able to depict it anyway. One author who influenced me was George Louis Borges. I came across him when I was in college, and that's when I learned how to build the worlds of magical realism. You make use of everyday words and environments as far as you can see while blurring the line between reality and fiction, drawing the player into a fantastical world before they realize it. By doing this, I can share my own personal sensations as one worldview. Encounters and the dawn of ProjectMoon. Thank you for telling us what may be considered the heart of your creation. Moving forward, please tell us the sequence of events that led you to actually establishing and developing games. So now we're going to learn the backstory. When I was in my 3rd year of middle school, I asked myself, what motivation, if I had any, for life? God, if I was going to have to get a job anyway, I wanted it to be something that I liked. And what I like is creating stories. There are a lot of mediums for conveying stories, but I especially like the games. The most direct impetus for me was the Korean game Arcturus. Arcturus? Arcturus? I'm just gonna call it Arcturus. This game is composed of 2 parts with a big plot twist in the middle. This fantasy world depicted in the first part of the game transforms into a sci-fi dystopia in the second part. The trick was a refreshing shock for me, and I became aware of possibilities of storytelling within games. I have no idea what this is. It's a Korean game, so I have no clue. I thought I wanted to be able to depict such emotionally moving stories, and I decided to enter the gaming industry. Was your choice of school related to games too? I decided to major in computer engineering in college. I figured that if I was aspired to work in the gaming industry, it wouldn't hurt to learn programming first. That's why I encountered an issue. However, mathematics is also required for programming, but I was really bad at it. This is me too, bro. Me too, bro. Also, I also had an interest in psychology at the time, but unfortunately it was not a choice offered at the university. In the end, I wasn't able to fit into that school and dropped out, entering in the media department at Asia University instead. At Asia, there were courses and a club specifically for games. The Game Developing Club at Asia is where I met several of my team members, including Yumi. Amazing that you already had assembled the people who would become the core members of Project Moon later. Yes, but we had a lot of setbacks in the beginning. As soon as we'd start a project, we'd fail. It happened over and over. The reason for us failing so much was due to my immature personality at the time. I never had great communication skills to begin with, so I wasn't able to come to a mutual understanding with my team members. Ultimately, I was in my 4th year of college without any of my works coming to fruition. And I brooded over the fact, thinking that if I couldn't complete a game by the time I graduated, then maybe I didn't have what it took to aspire to be a game developer. I became determined and invited 4 members, including Yumi, to put a lot of effort into making a successful game. That game was Lobotomy Corporation, dude. The final fucking game, dude. Holy shit, absolute W. And now you see why he really fucks with the school club vibe. Dude, the school club is literally what fucking saved him, dude. And now we have Yumi. So you, Yumi, saw Kim Ji-hoon struggling during his college years. How did you view it from his perspective? Although we belonged to the same club, I had been making games by myself with Unity until my 2nd year, so we weren't very involved with each other. Felt like I was watching his ups and downs from a distance. The first time I worked on a team with him was Lobotomy. At the time, Lobotomy for me was supposed to be my graduation project. That's because I was trying to get hired at a normal pre-existing game company after graduation. Korean game companies place a lot of importance on your portfolio. For that, I wanted to make a graduation project that would impress the people in charge of hiring, and that was my motivation. But then he tried starting up his own game company. Hahaha, you had a lot of confidence. But I didn't because up until that point, I had failed again and again. She made Lob, yeah, Yumi, Kim Ji-hoon, and 2 other people made LobCorp. That she is like an instrumental, like, she is his right-hand man in Project Moon. If Kim Ji-hoon ever retired, chat, Yumi would be the new head of Project Moon. Like, that is 100% confirmed. But I didn't, because up until that point, I had failed and again and again. In fact, I was worried whether Lobotomy was a game that would attract users' interest. What gave me a hunch that the game might be successful was when we did crowdfunding on Tumblebug. We were backed with 13 million South Korean won for over 460 people. From our point of view, that was a big response and a lot of money. With this result, all my team members and I were convinced that this game would make it. So in 2016, we incorporated Project Moon. Yumi is like the story co-writer. Yumi is more like the team lead. Okay, this is Yumi's. She is a lead programmer, but this is more like her role. If Kim Ji-hoon is the Lord, right? Then Yumi is directly below him, if not equal to him. I would say directly below him, right? So go from up to down. It goes Kim Ji-hoon, Yumi, and then all of the leads. So you have the lead writer, the lead designer, the lead programmer, right? So it goes Kim Ji-hoon, Lee Yumi, and then all of the head leads. So she controls all of the head leads pretty much. And Kim Ji-hoon is at the top. And actually, it gets explained here. By the way, Yumi has been by your side since the founding of the company, supporting Project Moon all this time. Could you please tell us what role she has within the company? So, here you go. Go to Duo. Lee Yumi is like Project Moon's canary in a coal mine. Her reactions to our initial story and art ideas are very instructive for us when making our work. Of course, we don't necessarily go with only her opinion. I sometimes get my way too. First, we show her our story and art drafts, and depending on her reaction, we decide whether to use them or not. If she doesn't approve, we start over. So if you don't know what a canary in a coal mine is, this is like a, I don't know how you describe it. Canary in a coal mine is, if you brought a canary into a mine, it would like chirp when there's resources nearby. I believe that's like the reference, right? Or the saying. So it's like if you brought a bird down into a coal mine, it would chirp when it's near coal, so you know where the coal is, or it chirps when there's danger. I don't remember the specifics, but pretty much she is the second in command at Project Moon. It's poison. Well, there you go. It was something. Safety measures for when toxic fumes are released. Oh well, there you go. They die because humans when there's deadly gas. Well, there you go. Exactly. Well, obviously, I don't know the fucking phrase, so I just made it. It's basically the first tester, pretty much. For me, hold on, here we go. First, we show her our story and art draft, and depending on her reaction, we decide to use them or not. If she doesn't approve, we start over. For me, personally, she's been by my side this whole time. Though we do quarrel sometimes, she is an important partner to me. In the past, I was annoyed at her for not understanding what I say. But recently, we've come to fully understand each other. We were really at odds with each other during college, and there was no end to our fighting. So much has happened. I think we've both matured since then. From your point of view, Yumi, what is Kim like at the company? And then that's where she describes them. Maybe like an absolute monarch. He is an entity of enormous determination that unifies our company in our game word. Does Kijun have a partner? We don't know. He keeps it private. If he does, it's private. If he doesn't, it's private. No clue. And then she talks about, obviously, I remember hearing that Firm Software, they develop their games like Miyazaki to tell other writers. This is exactly how Kim Ji-hoon does it. Skillfully implementing dialogue. Skillfully implementing dialogue and situational context. Because our stories are created with this multi-level process, there is room for player interpretation. Supplementing the context, Kim has left things undecided. Let's say I wanted to make a boss character into a creepy creature. I narrow down the image and direction, then hand over to Yumi and the others. And they decide on the boss's patterns and skill names. Afterwards, all the chief and members of the scenario team, effects and art team, and SD expand the work based on the direction that I want. And we create the game while checking out the work process and results. Yeah, he has a dog, and he has Shini Zhang. And hey, look, it's Ebony Queen. Success and change. Well now, Lobotomy was Project Moon's first successful game. What responses did the game generate when it first came out? What started as a boost in sales was a famous YouTuber streamed the game. When that happened, we instantly sold several thousand copies. Now, I actually don't know who this was. I have no clue who this was. It could be a few people. I have a few people in my mind, but I don't actually know how old it is. However, that success didn't last long, and we gradually grew more and more broke. When sales were really low, it was painful just looking at the numbers. Was it Jack? It might have been a Korean person as well, I believe. I want to be... I know Jack definitely played it in the beta. So it was probably Jack. But I'm not sure if there was also a Korean YouTuber as well, because I don't know. I understand what you mean. When we ran out of funds and needed to borrow money from the bank in the middle of developing, needy streamer overload. I lost 7 whole kilos. Exactly. Just when we were a month away from our bank balance reaching 0, we announced on Steam that we weren't able to continue with the project, and that we'd stop any further development once we implemented the content that we promised during the crowdfund. To be honest, I felt then that it was the end of us. But that announcement changed our fate. Fans who felt sorry for Lobotomy voluntarily started promoting the game. Fans from Korea, China, Japan, America, Russia. Fan communities from all sorts of countries recommended the game on social media, buying extra copies just to give to friends. Through the spread of such generous support, our sales numbers were saved. Thanks to the fans, we were able to make it out of a tough period. It was a game that was saved by its fans, precisely because they loved it so much. What a beautiful story. What region in particular did the game sell in? And then here's a big one. It was a big hit in China. We didn't do any marketing with a particular country or language in mind, but seems the game matched tastes there. At the onset of Lobotomy, we had plans to go with an American cartoon style, like you see in Adventure Time, but it didn't seem right, so we started over. So they were going to do an Adventure Time style, like, art direction with Lobotomy, and they didn't do it, which is funny. That was when we worked on emphasizing the Asian animation style, but it was more like a change made to fit with the creative sense rather than intentional marketing. Fortunately, the result was that it also appealed to East Asian countries like Japan and China. Yeah, that's why the concept art looks like this. After Lobotomy's success, you achieved success with both Ruina and Limbus too. I believe each time your company grew in scale. Could you go into detail about how your team has expanded after each turning point and how your management methods change in response to your new size? This is also very important. As I mentioned earlier, we had 4 original members when we created our team for Lobotomy while in college. Afterward, we recruited several people from within our school and elsewhere, and we eventually completed the game with 9 members, so Lobotomy Corp took 9 members. At first, we really fumbled around looking for people. We put out public job offers, of course, and we invited nearby colleges, looking for the right people, and asked acquaintances if they knew anyone. For example, we even hired someone after seeing the interesting artwork they displayed at a campus festival. For our second title, Ruina, we mostly hired people through a Korean gaming industry recruiting website called GameJob. I think we reached about 20 employees, and we continue to use the website since. And they still use the website to now, by the way. This is still being used, and currently we have about 50 members involved in Limbus. This has gone up to about, I think, 58 now for Limbus. I think it's near 60 members now for Limbus. Limbus. So you grew from 4 members to 50 in the span of 8 years. I'm sure that must have changed your own duties in your management of the company. From the start, I never wanted to see the team members as just numbers on paper, but rather as individuals with their own personality. That's why I took care to communicate as meticulously as possible and to create close relationships with my members. However, when we surpassed 20 members, I started to exceed my capacity. And this is where Lee Yumi explains, before he was really obsessed with micromanaging, he'd rather have his own way with doing things. We had to do a lot of retakes. He would sit next to people in charge and give directions for every pixel. And that's where Kim Ji-hoon explains that he had almost had a stroke from that. So they were like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. Following Kim's directions, I had to commit to my role as team leader. However, as I was using more time for management, my team work decreased. To compensate, I allocated my work to other members. As a result, we came to a good division of labor within the company. Though that may have alleviated things to some extent, I'm sure you still work extremely hard as both original scenario creator and CEO. How do you manage? And then he says, I don't manage. I have bipolar. I'm stressing, I don't sleep, I'm fucking depressed, I want to die, and I like Elden Ring. Go to director as per usual. I completely understand. I also want to play Elden Ring. And that's where he's saying I want to play Elden Ring. Here's the thing. Speaking of games, I get the impression again and again that ProjectMoon works at design like board games and card games. I especially get that impression from Library of Ruina. Do you like board games? And this is also very important because Limbus Company is supposed to be a deck game. At least all of the IDs are referred to as cards or decks. How Kim Ji-hoon refers to them all as decks. Yes, I especially was hooked on board games during my school years, and I still love them. Even after all, the title of Library of Ruina comes from a tabletop RPG I made when I was a student to play with my friends called the Library of Babel. I enjoy them as a hobby, of course, but board games are also useful when it comes to making video games. When creating Ruina, I recommended a board game for my team to play every week. I told them to carefully observe the designs and learn the game rules and regulations. So, there you go. Should indie games receive investing? I'd like to ask you more about your position as CEO. Recently, you received investing from major companies, Dev Sisters. How did you come to this decision? This is really funny as well. There is something I have learned from my experience regarding investment. Investment offers come when you don't need them, and never when you do need them. When we received the proposal from Dev Sisters, it was right after the release of Ruina. At that point, our sales performance wasn't that great, and the proposal wasn't strategic but more financial, so it guaranteed our creative freedom. For the time being, it would allow us to catch our breath financially, and even if Ruina failed, we'd have it in our portfolio that we received funding from Dev Sisters when the time came to raise our funds for the next project. If it had been a strategic investment, one in which we'd lose our independence, I think I would have turned it down. Didn't he actually get invested from the government not too long ago? Yeah, so that was in terms of building 150. Yes, that Dev Sisters. I'm telling you, man, dude, our director got connections. Yeah, so they're working with the city to build land, essentially, to build like a studio, a proper studio. By strategic investment, do you mean that the investors would take the rights to the management of the companies to some extent? And by financial investment, you mean that they would just provide funds and not have a say in things? That's right. If you report that we simply received investment from a major game company, it would give the impression that we were bought out or something. I wouldn't want it to be misunderstood in that way. To put it precisely, a venture capital company affiliated with Dev Sisters is the one who funded us. Fortunately, the representative of the company understood the gaming industry and fully grasped our concerns, proceeding with things in a tactical way. There are a lot of indie developers in Japan too, who aren't sure whether to receive funding or not. Do you have any advice about receiving funds from other companies? It's hard to say because I think it really depends on the situation. First, if you're broke, you don't have a choice but to receive funding. But if you're not broke, then I think you should avoid strategic investing or publishing contracts that would make you fork over part of your management rights. At first glance, the conditions for strategic investments may seem more favorable. However, if, after receiving that investment, the game you develop becomes commercially successful, you may lose control over how your work is handled. Worst case scenario, your entire IP may be snatched from under you. It might be okay if you're the type who can go ahead and begin development of another project without concern for the previous project. But if you're the type, like me, who wants to keep hold of your own work and not let others touch it, then you should carefully consider the conditions of a contract. I wouldn't recommend looking for an investor yourself, since the conditions tend to be restrictive. After all I said earlier, the more you look for an investor yourselves, the less likely you are to find one. During LobCorp, we sent email requests to a number of companies that we thought might invest in us. We didn't get a single reply. Also, here's a Kim Jae-hoon move, by the way. I sometimes give money to creators from an investing position, but I don't invest in creators who ask themselves for funds. They have to have the attitude of, I'll take your money if you insist. I also don't want to give it to them. W move. I, myself, don't want to take orders from anyone. Up until this point, we've received acquisition proposals multiple times. But even if I sold the company and made a lot of money, I'd just use that money as capital to create a new company where I could freely make games. So remaining and leaving would be the same thing, and if that's the case, I'd rather remain and continue ProjectMoon. Again, this is another insight from the previous roadmap, where Kim Jae-hoon has literally said, I have people begging to buy ProjectMoon. I could sell it to a Chinese company. I could retire. I've retired all my employees and myself. I never have to work a day in my life. My employees never have to work a day in their life ever again. I could go and just stream and eat food. And that's it. So, yeah. Also, this is such a... Look at the cute little big bird. Aw, so cute. We've heard the history of your company's growth since its formation up until now, and I feel yours is a perfect example for up-and-coming creators. In other words, your future could be a future possibility for us too. What is the next Project Moon? I'd like to hear about your goals as an organization as well as your own personal goals. And they made a new company? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they sold Project Moon, he'd just make a new company. The Chinese threat is the threat. No, it's a real. He wasn't lying. He could email someone and be like, I'm selling Project Moon. He's gonna sell it for $10 billion and then just leave, bro. That's it. First, let me talk about our goals for Project Moon as an organization. In the past, we set clear goals for each category to make it in the top in any way. For example, Ruina was our goal to exhibit at the Tokyo Game Show. However, I've achieved most of the goals I set out as a student, and I feel in order to claim higher from this point, it would have to come at a price, or require some sort of sacrifice. So then, should I heartlessly abandon all of my allies and fans to grow the company? I don't think so. Rather, I'd like to pursue our own creative ideals with the members we have now rather than maximize profits. As I said before, I'd like to make a company into a warm place, like a family. Our challenge is how to balance this warmth while surviving in the reality of the game industry. As for my personal goals, first, from a creative perspective, I'd like to make a 3D open world action RPG. Someday. For the time being, I think I'd like to continue making stories and communicating with fans, and to always look at the world through a filter of curiosity and fun. I don't currently have a role model game creator, but if I had to pick someone, it would be Hideo Kojima. I like to continue in a position where I could pursue my own vision independently just as he does. Yeah, Hideo Kojima, chat, is pretty much just like the more popular known version of Kyuji-Hun, pretty much, if you think about it. Literally just the same, literally like one for one, if you really think about it. this one is really funny. It shouldn't be funny, but this is really funny. My biggest fear is death. Not death as a metaphor, but actual death. I'm currently truly afraid of dying. It's not meant to be a funny statement, dude. It's not meant to be a funny statement, bro, but it's just something about the way he says it. It's just like, he's like, no, I'm actually just afraid of dying. Like, I really just don't want to die, dude. I'm actually fucking terrified. Like, it's like a Smiling Friends bit, dude. Oh my god. However, where there is fear, there is hope. I like to also believe that if I continued creating without slacking off, then I'll be able to leave this world with peace of mind, free from fear. That is my ultimate purpose and goal. If I continue my pursuit of creative work and storytelling, I may overcome my fear of death someday. God. Hearing Kim Ji-hoon whispering these words like a prayer at the interview's end, he reminded me of Hesse, who he admired. Oh, this is from Demian. Not many people nowadays know what a man is. Many feel it and therefore die more easily. This I shall die more easily when I have finished writing the story. Dude, what a fucking fire thing to mutter to yourself, bro. If I continue my pursuit of creative work and storytelling, I may overcome my fear of death someday. Before the interview, the INN interview team imagined Kim to be a burly captain, running his company single-handedly. But the Kim he showed to us during the interview was a troubled young man who spoke delicately and chose his words carefully while possessing the impressionable soul of a young boy. It may have been the family that he himself built that saved this fiercely independent young man when he was on the verge of being torn apart by his role as both artist and entrepreneur, and that boosted him to become a visionary of the Korean gaming industry. Ah, look at that. You got me holding the fucking big bird. So cute. Lastly, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank the head of the division, Bae Sang-hyun, for the assistance for the interview, and Setting Rhonda, who interpreted it. Literally, this is literally his kanto, dude. He literally had his family kanto. Like, do you see how Limbus, guys, like, can you not see the Limbus company is just Kim Ji-hoon retelling the story of Project Moon. That's just what Limbus company is. Limbus company is just that. It's just him retelling the story origins of Project Moon. That's it. It's the family, because they call themselves the family, and they're all helping each other out because they're all fucking depressed and shit, and torn apart. And I was blessed with a family of 12. It's just that. He doesn't have another job. Next he's gonna sing Pass On. He's already sung Pass On. He did. He sung it. And that's the end of the article. So this was obviously the Library of Ruina article, and then this was the original article. Again, if you guys wanted to see me talk about this article, which is the latest one, it was at the beginning of the stream. There you go, man. Yeah, so when you read the interview and read the article, this is not new information, man. Like, the roadmap stuff, this is not new information. We have known this information, again, that interview was 2024 on the 8th. That was the 8th of 2024. Right? So you really see how it works, man. Right? Like, you really see how they get, like, and now you see, like, how I always, like, talk about the reality of the situation instead of just, like, especially when it comes to, like, Limbus and, like, development and stuff, and it's, like, what comes and what happens, what is expected, what is not. It's, like, once you understand the history, once you understand how they work, they don't hide to you how it works. If you look for it, it tells you right there how they are managing it. This is what they're doing. That's it. There's nothing that's going to change that. It makes things a lot easier to understand. Anyway, that was the two interviews. W. Hohenheim Glaze, glory to our director, glory to Yumi, and yeah. There you go. Do we play Limbus now? How'd you guys like Limbus Company? Oh yeah, let me do my achievements. Guys, achievements. So yesterday we finished the extreme, and look at my achievements. Look what we did. We managed to actually clear all the achievements, chat. So as you can see here, if we have a look, we have clear with bleed, clear with poise, clear with charge, 10 pierce, 10 blunt. So we actually managed 10 pierce, 10 blunt. We have clear with 10 fusion recipes here for us, and then clear with a fusion recipes here for us. So we actually managed to complete, I think that's all of them from the collection. Yeah, that is all of them in the collection. So, hell yeah. I want to listen to the noises. Oh, I like the noise of the chimes. Oh, it's like a cute little chime. So we are now left on 87%. We have maxed out collection. We have maxed out adversity. The only thing left is clears, and clears is always the longest. Which is obviously, you know. And look at the rewards. What do we get? We got some thread, some shards. We are now at level 39. So not bad. We are close to another pool ticket. We have a 10 pool here, chat. 10 pool is really, we are one level away from the 10 pool. That is calculated, by the way. Glory to our director, calculated it. If you complete both adversity and collection, you're one level off away from it. Of course, by the time next week comes, we should have at least these 5 level 1s complete. Actually, maybe not even. What's today? Saturday? We'll do 1 today. Then Sunday, we're not doing it. Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, we'll have plenty of time. How many blue tickets do I have? 1,000. Just a small amount. A small loan of 1,000. Anyway, we're gonna be playing. Anyway, guys, and we're gonna be playing a new mirror dungeon today. We're gonna be using. You know what, guys? In celebration of Kim Ji-hoon and the ProjectMoon team, we're gonna be using the Pequod trio. Yay, Pequod trio! We're gonna use the new gift, the end of all evil. We're gonna become captain. Because we never actually got to use this ego gift, and I wanted to use it. So we're actually gonna quickly have a look. Also, by the way, if you didn't know, it actually shows you the crafting recipe inside the compendium now. That'll be your new compendium. The ProjectMoon team, true. So we have activate when there are 3 or more Pequod units. Ooh, N-Corp, by the way, 3 or more Pequod faction. That is including, most likely, we're gonna get an N-Corp version of Ahab. That'll be kind of fire. What does it do? On hit with attack, gain 50% chance to gain poise or bleed. On crit, 80% chance to not consume count. Yeah, needs the impending crown. Count, including he. On hit, creds hit, base inflict 1 more negative effect with coin. Including counter skills and excluding ego. If the number 1 identity deploy kills an enemy, the Pequod faction identities all gain pierce up, protection, and crit up. But each turn for the rest of the encounter, max 3. So all the Pequod IDs get 3 pierce power up, which is amazing. 3 protection, amazing. And 3 crit damage up, which is amazing. Isn't it hard to get with keywordless? Yeah, but we have a little thing called Starlight. So we can get it. If one of the Pequod faction identities attacks and hits an enemy, heal 7 SP for the Pequod identity with the earliest deployment order, once per skill. So pretty much, Captain Ishmael always is going to get SP. When an ally kills an enemy, heal 15 SP for the Pequod identity with the earliest deployment order if that identity lost SP. So, TLDR, it heals you, it buffs the whole team. And also, this also includes gas lamp too, so you can use gas lamp with this. Obviously, we're going to be doing that. So we're going to do Pequod trio. Now, should we only do Pequod trio, chat? Or should we do a team of 5? What do you think? We should probably do a full team because I want to actually use gifts and stuff. But or should we just do Pequod trio? What do you think? What do you guys think? If we do Pequod trio, it's going to be a very slow. It'll be a slow run. Well, it won't be slow, but it'll be a little bit weaker. Let me just grab the Pequod trio first. I want poise bleed. Should we trio them only? What do you think? Only trio, only trio? Okay, I mean, I don't mind doing only trio. We can do that. Heathcliff is down here. And Ahabu. Put Ren in the bag. Alright, you know what we'll do? We'll do trio only, but we're going to put support passives. Twin Hook. Twin Hook is kind of a Pequod if you think about it. I kind of want to use Twin Hook too. Fly these? No. I am the lord of this place. You cannot tell me what to do ever. Or 10,000 demons will enter your home. Okay. We're gonna want all the lead and poise. Kokomo. We'll just put all the bleed poise units that I have, or have-ish. As many sailors as possible. Sink. We'll do Twin Hook. Ren, because we gotta put Ren Claire. Yeah, I'm just gonna put all the Poise Bleed IDs on, but we'll actually only use Pequod Are they all 55? Because that's the level I left them on the last season. Put full stop. Why not? Technically, you're not bleed. You're just Poise. So I'll just do a pure... Sure, Hornet. Put a Hornet in there. Why not? You will do Dayu. We could do Dayu. Yeah, I want to do Dayu. No, Dayu is Poise Rupture. Bleed. Let's do Maid. And then Mouse is very, very Mouse. We'll do Sheesh Melt or BL. You can do Shifao. Oh, and Dawn. How could I forget? How could I forget Dawn? Put a Bleed ID on her. Just put a Andra. Her piece of relationship is guaranteed. God, I also have facades. Do I even have any facades I want to put on? Not really. I don't really want to put on facades right now. I don't think I have many new facades. I only have these 2 facades still. Although for Mersolda, it would be funny watching him just punch people. I think we're gonna put the default Mersolda facade on. Wild Hunt would be very funny to put on. Now we're gonna leave the Pequod Trio as it is, chat. But for the other IDs, we'll put a facade on them. Or, you know, if we can put a facade on them. We need more facades, obviously, but we need more, we don't have any ego shards, chat. We're out of ego shards. Mersault's gonna be the only character with a facade. I think that's quite funny. Yeah, we're not even gonna see them. No, it's just gonna be... But, yeah, but if we do get to, like, Extreme and we need to put in... Like, if we have to use the other IDs, we will. Like, I'm not gonna restrict myself. Do-do-do-do. Bygone. This into... I'll do Thorough. Dun, dun. Do-do-do-do. This into Red Eyes, Red Eyes. To you, into you, into you. You remain in Soda for upscale. Harmony is goaded. We'll take X now. This is going to be extreme or hard mode. This is extreme. We might not be able to beat the extreme today, but we could probably get to floor 10 and then we'll probably finish the extreme off later, I assume. But we'll see how I feel. Like, it depends. It's already been 2 hours into the stream and we haven't even started. Normally it takes 2 hours to get the fucking extreme, right? So, depends how fast the run goes. I'll try and go fast in this run to get there as fast as possible. Hello. Okay, there we go. And Sir Greg. It's funny seeing him be the only projection. Not even gonna see him. Alright, in we go. Boop. Different times between Red Eyes closed, Red Eyes open. Red Eyes open deals heals and deals more damage if the enemy has bind. Red Eyes debuffs. So Red Eyes open is pure DPS increase for binded targets, and Red Eyes close inflicts bind and also nerfs debuffs them if they're binded. I don't know how you do it. You end up just... Oh, I missed the article reading. It's at... Don't worry. If you want to read it, it's at the first 15 minutes of the stream. I'll put timestamps at the end of the stream. Like, once the stream finishes, I'll put timestamps in In case people want to come and like, you know, read it over. I'm gonna do bleed or poise first. I'm gonna do poise first. Beam boob boob. So, things we're gonna need here. I think this is very simple. We're going to take, I could start with all of the quad stuff, to be honest with you. I feel like I do. We could probably get Harpoon. But I get to start with Harpoon, I'll just do this. And then we'll find Nebulizer super easily, so that'll be no problem. All we need now is Cetacean Heart. Hey, look, Nebulizer right there. Oh, Nebulizer Camilla? That's actually a goated pack pick. No dog? Nah, we'll get dog later if we need dog. I want to focus on the fusions first. Hello. Ruina. I beat my Fega Murderer. Great job. Ehab. Boom. Alright, it's gonna be a trio. We're also gonna need Badge. I should have probably bought Badge at the start, but I did not. I greeted. What I probably should have done is I probably should have bought Badge and what do you call it? Badge and the just Badge instead of the Harpoon. Like, doesn't seem hard right now. No, it's pretty manageable. Look, Library Ruina in the early game is not that bad. It is manageable. The first difficulty spike is going to be once you unlock Queen of Hatred, which is 2. Once you get out of the lower floor, you're out of the tutorial. Dang. No, that one of our ego gifts aren't even working because you need 6. Boop. Wanda. Ehab. Bam, bam, bam. This one, right? This. Bam. Can you lose the fusion buff? Did I really bring 3? We're only gonna be... We're not gonna be fusing the tier 4 craftables. The only fusions we're gonna be using are the gas harpoon and the heart. Which is the new one. So the new ones don't use it. So the new one doesn't use 5, it uses 3. So we have to do this without Lucky Pouch. No Lucky Pouch. No, gas, fucking whatever it's called, barrel. Any tips for MDE? Spend Starlight. If you're gonna do extreme, all passives, take three starting gifts at the start. Use your Starlight to fuse. Use your Starlight to find a pack that you want. It's gonna help you, and you won't overspend as long as you're being. If you don't use don't use more than like 2 or 3 theme pack refreshers. Use your fusion chance as much as you want. Easiest way is honestly getting as much ego gifts as possible. You want to get as much ego gifts as yours as possible. You're trying to get your team composition. So you want a team composition: 5 rupture, 5 charge, 5 poise, whatever it is. You want to get those tier 4s as fast as possible, preferably within the first 2 floors if you max passives. If you max passives, you can easily do it within the first 2 floors. Once you do that, then you want to go to your sub keyword. If you have a double keyword run, like you're doing Poise Bleed, or if you're doing Tremor Burn, you then go on to your substat. So if I'm doing Poise Bleed, I want to focus on Poise, finish Poise fully, unless there's like a really good or unique thing there. Then fully finish out the second substat. By the time you finish out the second substat, you should be about floor 4 or 5. Once you hit floor 4 or 5, that's when you want to start focusing on memories. So either get 1 memory or 2 memories or whatever. If you have a mono team, just get 1 memory. Then you want to start focusing on your debuff stats. So debuff ones are Tremor Burst. If you're a bleed team, you have bleed already. Tremor Burst is 1. Get a few tier 4s, special tier 4s, sinking tier 4 is very useful. If you want to have Thrill, get Thrill. biggest thing for Tremor is you want Downburst, the Gloppo Eye, and you want Bell of Truth. That's pretty much the only Tremor stuff you need, unless you're actually doing Tremor itself. If you have a team that has a unique tier 4, for example, Charge, then you want to do W Corp. If you have Tremor team, you want to go, you know, TKT. If you have fucking high shows, go to high show, you know, Nocturnal Sweeping. What's my favorite melee song? I'm not gonna lie to you, I really like Compass. Compass has probably my favorite backtrack, like the musical layer. But I really like Sakai. That one is probably the most emotional one for me. Anyway, a bit unrelated, but is Kurokoma Rodia good? I got on my Walpole. In MD, you can get her to hit some pretty gnarly skill 3s. If you have I done it in the MD? Yes, I have done that. I did it on the first day. So Kurokoma, I mean, if he has a high rolling skill. The biggest thing about her is her skill 3. If you're doing Mirror Dungeon, you can get a lot of good skill 3s out of her. If you're doing like normal content, you can still get her pretty high if you build up her poise. But you need to have like support passives or a team and stuff. Irregular, she's using per quad. Let's go all 3 of them. Yeah, the best thing is exactly what we're doing today, which is going to be getting the 2 tier 4 fusions for specifically per quad. This is actually quite good right here. This is a rare situation where I'm gonna buy 3 things. Oh, she low because she got smacked. Get that shit smacked out of her. Aha! That's what I wanted, baby. Give me that nib. And, lucky me, chat. Early Guiding Lamp. And we just got... Oh my god, that is a goated pick to get as a... We just got the black card. The reward. That's fucking hella sick. Patches of Violet is insane. Like, I really can't pick a favorite melee song, to be honest with you. Like, they're all so fucking goated. I also forgot the double enhance thing again. Okay, there we go. If he doesn't need a heal, we'll be fine. This Burn Bleed? No, this is per quad trio. We're specifically just doing per quad trio. We're going to want to focus on survivability in this team. It's the most important, so we're going to want all 3 revive gifts. We're going to want, and not in this order, but we're going to want them. We're going to want T-Corp badge, we're going to want the Undying Embers, and we're going to want For You Who Loves the City. Or for the city. We need the city gift. Do I like it with the heartbeat? Yeah, I like them both. I like both versions. What's the best thing to do with MDE for the adversity? My personal opinion, either high shows, either Poise Rupture with high show included, or Charge Rupture with W Corp. Oh, and then Tremor Sinking with the new Tremor Sinking units. So Tremor Sinking with like Hanafuda, Ujat, and Fate and Roma. We get the one with the nebulizer? I already got it. We got gas up in already. We are goated with the source right now. Nice. Very good. Hey-ya. See how far we get today. Camilla. Wound. We have Faith? We don't need Faith anymore. Faith is old news. We don't need it anymore. Why don't we need it anymore? It's Shrimple. The new tier 4 heals Ishmael fully. We don't need it. The new tier 4 that you can make for the Pequod trio will heal Ishmael's SP every time anybody attacks the enemy. So it just full heals her anyway. I would like Phantom Pain. That would be nice. What, a new tier 4? Well, I guess you'll have to wait until we craft it. Actually, you know what? Maybe we should go chicken. This would be a good chicken. Oh, actually, or I go, Falling Flowers here. I can always go Flowing Flowers 4-3. But I want to go, yeah, they can go there 4-4. And then live, I have to go there. I mean, this does give me 3 offense up. But I kind of want, I would like chicken. Yeah, I'd like chicken. You know what? Normally I don't get Thread and Needle, but this might be a run where I might grab Thread and Needle just as backup. Preferably I want Tango Marinade though. So there's a quad tier 4 fusion. Yeah, with the buffed flowers, we could just do it on 3 now, which is nice. And 4 is not restricted anymore, so we don't need to do it on 4. Is it possible without relationship? I did it yesterday without relationship. Yeah, you can do it without relationship. We did a whole R-Corp run yesterday. We did pure charge yesterday without relationship. What's Falling Flowers? Falling Flowers is the theme pack. It's pretty much the Kanto 4 theme pack. One of the, like, Kanto 4 theme packs. Do, 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 do. Bing, bang, bong. Is it actually usable now? Still bait. I like it. If you are already planning to just, you know, it can hurt you still. In fact, it can hurt you more now. But I think the benefit it gives you, it is actually like, it is like pretty worthwhile to take the fragile. Obviously, it also depends. Like, if you're doing it, if you're like, I don't know, if you're really reliant on your team not dying, you might not want to take it. If you're fine with your team dying and then, like, you know. Pretty much. But it also could depend on the fight. Like, if you're fighting Ricardo, like, if you get a full 15 Ricardo with Shadowbound Cannon, GG. Like, you're not gonna win that. Refusing my burn for the burn tier 4's help? Well, no, I don't have don't fuse. Okay. If you're doing, don't fuse tier 4s if you don't have the encounter. So most of the standard crafting tier 4s require you to have 5 identities. If you don't have the 5 identity limit, your gifts get deactivated. So, for example, I don't have 3 Poise or Bleed. So if I crafted the Poise or Bleed, therefore I would lose access to the base ego gifts. So if you're doing burn with high show, I would recommend just grabbing the burn gifts. Don't fuse the tier 4s. You can make the, you can craft the, you can make the fusion tier 4 because the fusion tier 4 is Glimpse of Flame. Hello, my first says Shadow of the Must. Without Lunar Memory? I wouldn't say it's a must. I would honestly say Omni Tool is more of a focus than Shadowbound. Shadowbound is definitely more of like a, how fast do you think you can defeat the enemy before getting hit kind of deal. Hey, we got Tango. There are a few things that I would say is a must if you're new to Extreme. My actual biggest must, I honestly genuinely believe this, is the new tier 4 keywordless. The you wish to be the city or something, where it heals your whole team when you take fatal damage or close to fatal. You can get it in Vain Pride. You can get it in Bridal Pack. There's a few places where you can get it, and it's pretty fucking good. And I'm gonna get it myself too. Yeah, I'm gonna get all of the skill 2s, yeah. For the love of the city, yeah. Well, the Love of the City is the one that I would recommend getting as a new player. If you're doing Extreme for the first time, that is one of the ones where it's like you will love yourself if you do that. It's pretty common on those packs. It's specifically in Vainpride Bridal. And I'd highly recommend it. I would only take Shadowbound if you are like experienced. Like me, I could take Shadowbound. I know what I'm doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, I think it'll be probably more detrimental. No, don't get me wrong. Shadowbound is amazing now. I would take Shadowbound every opportunity I can. However, it still can be negative to you if you don't know what you're doing. If you are inexperienced, I would not recommend it. If you are experienced, I would recommend it, because it is just a bonus. Very nice. Here we go. Let's grab a skill 3. Skill 3. And you know what? Let's use the new system. We got money to spare, why not? Or Starlight. 25 Starlight to do a skill 2. Worth. It's a win-lose and it depends on you. It depends on how you... it is more beneficial the more experience you have. These are good. Like, if you... Like, for example, right? If you're doing Charge Rupture, W Corp. If you're playing Charge Rupture, W Corp, you can unironically win rate clash everything in Extreme. At that point, if you're going to win rate clash everything, I might as well just get the Shadowbound, because at least you're going to be doing 100% extra damage. It is skill-based. Yeah, I would say skill-based. Nice. Nice. A lot of good gifts here. Sell one of these for some money. I would like to fuse. Can't fuse any of this, so... 50-50? W, we got clear mirror. Alright. Really good run so far. We are obviously looking out right now for... Grab Carmilla because we obviously want to have faster encounters. Alright, we are chilling now. We're pretty much chilling until we get Cetacean Heart. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Bow. 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 If that kills you, that would be scary. The new high that I have to keep on chasing. Yeah, it's like fucking Fent. It's just like, I need more. What do you mean I could do such easy clashes at floor 15? Yeah. We do another run on Intruder Seeking Ammo, but max diversity. Yeah, we'll be doing an ammo team at some point, probably this week. So we will be doing that. What's the charge rupture team I suggest? W Corp. W Corp. W Corp is the cheapest, easiest, one of the cheapest and most, I would say, accessible teams that you can run in Mirror Dungeon. All you need is W Corp Yisang, W Dawn, W Ryoshu, W Masalt, W Honglu, W Otis, W Heathcliff. Now, if you don't have, you could not have 2 of those, but as long as you have 2 of the 5 of them, you have charge rupture with the W Corp team. Yes, missile. Well, wait for the thumbs to do an ammo team. No, we have a lot of we don't have a thing. W Fairhouse? Yeah, you could put her in the team. You could put, as long as you, okay, you need to make sure at least 5 of your W Corps are charge rupture. That's what I was trying to imply. Okay, if you want an easy clear, you want to make sure all of them are charge rupture. All the IDs I listed have charge rupture. Fairhouse is charged, she doesn't have rupture. That's why I didn't list her. Everyone else has charge rupture. I'm thinking I probably won't wait for the, because there is, like, we have ammo, so we probably won't wait. I'm gonna grab this because I don't get to pick this often. Sure, why not? More burn. You can do burn with this team, kind of. So now we're gonna try and do falling flowers here. Oh, we could also get Satish and Heart. Oh my god, we could also get Faith. We don't need Faith on this team. I kind of want to get that early Satish and Heart, but... Is Kamui gift good? Yes, very good. Well, the arts would be good, but I want to get... So do I want 3 offense up? Or do I want my tier 4 now? I can always get my tier 4 later, so... Artistic is really good. How long does it take for the average MDE to finish? Oh god, punctured memory. I feel like I have to go there. Oh god, these are also good. I would say the average one probably takes like 3.5 to 4 hours. Is average, I'd say. Maybe depending on how fast you are. If you're like hyper speed throwing it, I think you can do it in probably like 3 hours. Oh, also it depends if you're doing adversities. Sorry, if you're not doing any adversities, easily like 2 hours. If you're doing 50 adversity, then it's going to be at least 3 to 4 hours. Is the one that gives an infinite SP the whale heart? Yeah, but you can get the whale heart on floor 4. So I'm kind of doing a little trolling right now. I think I gotta go here, bro. Punctured memory and butler aren't. I mean, we can always fuse it. It's not like we need to, but that is kind of like a really good combo. So we're just gonna have to skip the offense up for now, which maybe I will regret, but who knows? Who knows if I will regret it? But those 2 gifts are gonna be really good. We fuse it with that. It's gonna give us stagger thresholds for floor 15. Yeah, love and hate is also charge rupture. The problem is, well, not the problem, but the cheapest team is W Corp because the W Corp have their exclusive tier 4, and their exclusive tier 4 is like genuinely maybe the best tier, one of the best tier 4s. At least before this new version of the tier 4s came out. It gives them so much shit that makes them so, even the 2 stars, it gives the 2 stars so much shit to make them even stronger. Hey, Ishmael's gonna yap a lot. Fine. You know, we could give a skin to Ishmael to make it so that she doesn't yap as much in this skin. That could be like a yap buff, you know what I'm saying? Instead of having her yap all the time. Yap male. Yeah. Jesus Christ, she's yapped so much. I love her yapping. Oh, double event, bro. Obviously I gotta do double event. I said, Shama. I dare silence the captain? You're right. My bad. Yeah, let's break these hands. Nice. Busted up the hand. The 100. The 100. Of course, looking normal. Yeah. I should just add a skin halfway through the run just to fuck with everyone. Oop. He's always the facade for Molo. There. I don't even know what kind of skins. Hold on, what kind of skins do I even have? Let me look. I don't know. I don't really have any interesting skins for these ones. Maybe Ishmael, I have some skins for her. I have. Oh, I can do. Maybe we do a little bit of. Maybe we do a little bit of this. No one will tell. No one could tell the difference. Chat. It's okay. No one could know, right? No one will know. Guys, we're just doing the Pequod trio. Alright, there's nothing special here. There's you guys want to see her spin? Alright, let's see her spin, shall we? You can change them mid-dungeon? Yeah. You can't buy new skins mid-dungeon, but you can change them. Oh, here we go. Oh my god! Zichun! Zichun! Oh my god. She spins so fast. I love Zichun. That's good. Prime Zichun. It is actually. Hold on. Again. Again! I can't even see her speed! Dude, her speed is unreal. You can't tell me that doesn't placebo to make you feel like it's faster than it actually is. I'm telling you, the skins have a hard, like, a massive placebo. They feel faster even if they're not. Sometimes. And this, we don't have to hear the yapping of Captain. Oh, the sprinkles are trying to fade off. It feels so much faster. Even though it's not faster, it feels faster. Ping pong. Ah, spin time. That just feels quicker. It's gaslighting. Have you seen Devi at Rodeo on Night of Despair? I have not. I gotta get Roger. Oh my god! That's spitting. I have seen Full Stop and Ensang. We gotta see something with that on the quad too. I don't think I have I don't have anyone that interesting on. I don't have anyone that interesting for Isang. I have W Corp and N Corp, but N Corp doesn't have the. If only the reuse was on the S3. I do have Heathcliff Wild Hunt, although I'm pretty sure it gives, like, epilepsy. Doesn't Kodia have the same amount of coins? Kodia has, I mean, yeah, I think, except the reuse has more. Oh, true. N-Corp Sang would be funny as fuck. No, N-Corp, sorry. Fucking Ring Sang would be funny as fuck with this. I don't actually think I'll grab this one. And let's grab more poise. We got all the poise, maybe. Well, that's why I'm not putting it on, because does that. Are the ring IDs good? Yes. Grab this. It'll be more refreshing here, might as well. You sang, beautiful. Pretty sure we need this. Do a little selling. Any funky fusions? Not as of yet. We can do some enhancing though. Nice. And see, that went to 286. Chat, I think I just confirmed something. Rebate token got buffed with the enhance gift method. I just did a double upgrade for the cost of 2 upgrade enhancements with rebate token. I thought rebate would work where it would check this tier, see if it spends any, and then checks this. But in actuality, it just skips the first plus. So if I got the rebate, it wouldn't put me to this level. It wouldn't put me to 226. It would just keep me at 286. So rebate token just got hard upscaled. That is like really fucking good. It's essentially you get the equivalent of 2 enhanced costs for free. You have a less chance to proc it? Yeah, but you spend less as much. You spend twice as less. So it's kind of like if you had like 50 gifts here and you did the double enhance, you have a more. Yeah, it counts as 1 enhance, but actually does 2 enhances. Like obviously I can't control it, but like if I did this, like 286 and I get it maybe? No, I didn't get it. But if I did get it, it would stay as 286. It's like a bug. Maybe? It kind of feels like it, but if they're actually only counting it as 1 enhance. 1 and cost 2 an upgrade, yeah. The thing is, the reason is, I didn't know how they handled it. Right? Yeah, it's 20% for a free upgrade. That's kind of crazy if you think about it. Oh, I'm not saying it's not balanced, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that it's definitely buffed because of that. Hello. Like, before, you had to do 2 20% to get a fully upgraded item. Now you can only do 1 20%. That's so funny. So, you know, if you have more gifts, that's kind of a dub. The facade? Yeah, I got the Z-Tune facade. I think it's funny. Also because Captain yaps so fucking much, so we're just gonna hide the yapping behind my high rock. Go, my harpoon. God, it's so good. Yeah, I don't have Ring Sang. Should we go get Ring Sang, chat? Alright, we'll go get Ring Sang. Hold on, let me go buy him. Alright, let me go buy him. I have to leave the dungeon though. Before I leave, let me quickly go to a we need to go to the heart now. Please take me to the heart. Need it. Please. Even though you offer me so much good shit. Holy fuck. The evil. The crawling abyss. Okay, let me just enter the crawling abyss and then we'll go grab the thing. Bring a thing in cut clip. Okay, hold on. With 25 or less ego gifts? Oh, that'll be hype. How she's moving in the mirror world. How did she win? Pure aura. She had Ricardo? Yeah. Alright, unfortunately, guys, as I said before, I'm out of freaking shards, which means I have to use my consumables. On you saying. My freaking yellow crates that I'm grinding, man. My freaking yellow crates, man. Gosh, freaking damn it. There we go. Heathcliff, we're gonna keep him, because he's fine. Resume. The crazy amount. Hey, I had more. Alright, they will take it away from me. Assad, you're gonna be Ring Sang. Nice. Nice. How? I don't like those crates. I don't use crates. I only use crates on standard ID. When was the last standard ID? It was She Faust. That was the last time I did it. Alright, we got funny Ring Sang. So let's see how this works, alright? Obviously I want to get some poise first. Is this gonna be the first hit and the last hit? That's pretty normal. That's like Otis, skill 3. His greed is biblical. I'm in case there's a new ego that comes out, or a standard fair, you know, it's there just in case. Do I take it? Hell yeah, never duck a fade. Alright, next time we're gonna see the skill 2. Because we'll have enough poise. Yes, I hope. Oh yeah, I got 20 boys, I'm chilling. We are chilling like villains. Where am I using? Oh yeah, suffer relentless stabbing, guys. Here we go. Let's see this. That is what the fuck? He does aura bombs. Wait, what? He just... He didn't even like... He didn't move. He just... He used his stand. Dude, he just used his stand to fucking kill the blind obsession, bro. I didn't see anything. What the hell, bro? Damn, bro, my bad. Shit, I didn't know you had that dog in you. Oh, levels. He has a stand, we just couldn't see it. Yeah, what the hell? Did he hire the full stop? Yeah, did he just sit there and let them blast him? I knew that would have been an event. Oh, my greed. I should have went there, but it's fine. I knew it, dude. I was like, it could have a double event, but I didn't do it. Ugh. I didn't do it, and I'm going to be punished for my greed. Feels the aura. Dude, it feels like, how does that not feel? Dude, that relentless stabbing feels faster than the normal relentless stabbing. Like, the placebo is so hard, dude. Like, look at this. This feels so quick. Maybe part of the Joestar squad. Everybody's should. Owie. Owie. No, Captain. I mean, Zichun. Go! Stand the power! He's just gotta let him stand the power! Damn. God damn. There we go. Schmack. EFA. He said could dropkick. True. Experience the low accurate skin? That would be funny. Alright, we're gonna get to tier 4. Once we get the fusion as well, oh my god, we're gonna be so much stronger as well. We're gonna be so strong, guys. Here's Zichun. Destroy my enemy and my life is yours. Thank you, Zichun. God, I love it. I love it. I hope they keep all the jank. I truly do. I want to try some really fast IDs on very slow identities. So, like, I want to see what, like, I want to see an S3 that has a really long animation, but on an ID who's really fast most of the time. Like, I saw someone do, R-Corp, I saw someone put R-Corp-ish, R-Corp Honglu on Lord. No, Lord on R-Corp. And it just made his, like, his skill 3 was just so fucking slow. It was really funny. Seeing the second smoke wall. Beyblade technique. Let's have Heath Facade. Well, you know what? I have Heathcliff. Let's just put him on there. You know what? Why not? I already have Heathcliff. I might as well put a facade on him. I can't remember at the start where I was like, I'm not gonna do facades because I want to make it a quad. Anyway, he lied. You and I lie. Grab this. The Wild Hunt would be funny. Unfortunately, it is very visually flashy. Didn't have gloom skills or attack way, so that doesn't work on us. Reindeer? We should also test reindeer, yeah. Reminder that I also need the fusion. I can grab this fusion now. Very nice. Alright, chat. Are you ready to see the new fusion? Here it is. The end of all evil. On hit with attack with bleed, chance to gain poise, 80% chance to not consume poise and inflict more negative effects. Number 1 identity kills an enemy. Everyone gains pierce, protection, and crit damage up to 3. So 30% crit damage up. That's 30% extra damage on crit. 3% freaking final power. And then the first deployed identity heals SP. So very nice. Grab that. Grab that. Let's do some enhancing, shall we? See, I just got my full cost back. Oh my god, that's so goated. And I think that's... Anything else I'm missing right now? No, I don't think so. Doing pretty good on all stuff. The crawling bits. I think this is gas harpoon. Speaking of, I think this is harpoon. I'll see a distortion turns on ammo. That would be cool. Token is busted, yeah. Oh, it's Clam. Hey, buddy. Face my new buff. Also, peep my team, bruh. Yeah, peep up a quad team, bruh. Harpoon of obsession. Nerd emoji. Aha, snag harpoon. Oh, what did I mean? I meant, bang, bang, bang. Nice. And then we diligently and respectfully beat the shit out of him. I love triple firing the Atelier logic. God. That is so funny. Is this the waging bullet? Is this the quad? Yeah. I like a 50-50. Damn. And we got the heart. Oh, dude. I don't know what headstrong, bro. What the hell? Hell no. Alright. How she was moving against the cultivation. True. You don't want the Blood Fiend gifts. We don't need that. Nothing from Dusk of Amber we want, probably. Normal team. True. We could go for Bridal. I mean, which would be nice, and it's fast. Unless there's something specifically I want. Shadowbound would be Chad to get. I'll probably get Bridal first. Hit the enemy 5 miles away. Grab the urn. We can line to. I mean, it's not a big. It's not hard. It's actually the optimal route because this is the one of the fastest floors you can do. So. Riley is goated. Downpour as a shop reward. Dude, we're getting some very good shops. Some very good stuff today. Like no meme. Do we have rupture? No, no, no. Contract is hella useful. Elms is amazing. This is good for burn. Glimmers. Metronome. Oh my lord. More and more, more and more. We have so many tier 4 things. Let's get the sinking gift. 50-50? Nice, we won the 50-50. Metronome. Can't enhance that. Give me back. Ah. Right. Ooh, I do like that. Oh, it's 6 anyway. It doesn't matter. Okay. It don't matter. Like, gives you the tier 4. Yeah.
가자, 죽이라.
Through the hot food aggro. It is true. It's hella cool. Okay. Bang.
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 지워버리죠.
Don't have a lot of poise, so we gotta get some poise first. Bang, bang, bang. Ding, ding. The Wrath. The scariest of them all.
시간 끌 것 없이
Alright, show him your relentless stand of power. Oh my goodness, stand of power. Yo. Teacher's just too strong. God damn. It's too OP. Okay, getting that crit damage up is so nice. Holy shit. Oh, Heath. Boom. Stand of power. The 100.
완성되었나?
Nice. Super John. 50-50, no 50. But Bridle and the Clash Power. Beep, 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 beep. All the beeps. I'm so beep filled. I would like to go TKT Buckaxe specifically for the badge, but if they don't show me it, I will not go to it. Could potentially do ramped up and fragile. That'd be cool. Hyped up does increase wrath damage. That's not bad. Hmm. We do have... No. What's that fragile gift here? Doesn't feel bleed. But that is exactly what I wanted, the badge. Dude, we're having a great RNG run today. RNG has been in the roof right now. And we're gonna mug the time Ippa. Jump his ass. Oh, we Sync Otis, jump his ass. Fuck. He called me on his bullshit. He knew. He knew I was gonna jump him. God damn it. My 300 cost. Alright, well. In a place where no time exists, I shall still win race. Thank you, Carmilla.
합격장.
Bam, bam. What is it RNG great with me?
점찍어.
I don't know what you guys mean. You know, I'm just like you guys, all right? I'm just a regular gacha gamer with no rigged runs, no pulls. Win rate or no win rate? We're just win rating for this one because it's just some not difficult fights right now.
시간은 좋았어요.
True. How is she doing that? It's just, you know, it's just hierarch privilege. You know, she's a hierarch, so she gets that.
엔진 시동.
Yeah, she could just do that. She didn't say that. She didn't mention it. She's crazy. A little.
점 찍었네.
You know, you gotta be a bit crazy to be Ahab. Nice, that's some crit damage up. Bang, bang, bang.
완성되었나.
시간 끌 것
나이스.
없이 모두를 지워버리죠. 무상한 목숨.
10%, dude, 30% extra crit damage is nothing to sneeze at. God damn. Imagine if I had the tier 4s as well right now, I would be doing even more damage.
시간은 좋았어요. 무상한 목숨.
Pop.
무상한 목숨. 불끈 지원할 뿐.
God damn. Go my limited lockout? True. Just another busy day at the watch factory. Give me the, give me this, please.
당연하지.
Thank you for that
내
case.
나침반이 틀린 적이 있었나?
Bzz, 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 bzz. This is good to have. I'll do a tremor, double tremor if I can, but a reverb. Alright, well there goes his skills. I'm gonna start preparing some other character skills just in case, like John Virtue of Humanity. Hey, look, badge, yoink. Oh, bridle just got refilled. My 200 cost bridle. Thank you very much. Just for free. You love it. That is a enhanced cost bit diff. How can I solo extreme with everything? Well, I don't typically solo, but if I was soloing, it's usually just because I know what kind of ego gifts to get and how to cheese fights. Oh my god, the Rego token value is crazy right now. I just saved like 600 costs. Oh my goodness gracious. And pre-order. And maybe some hits. Okay, what kind of fusions? It's where all my side gifts are all the bonus costs. Yeah, I can do a rich one. That sounds pretty easy. So what are we missing? Probably get the bleed tier 4. There it is. And we got Biovenom. Bad. Artistic. Yeah, we got that. We got. Might as well get. You know, might as well get the charge one. Nice, lucky. Good luck. Very lucky indeed. Anything I don't need? Not really. This is an instance where, like, if I get lucky, maybe I can double enhance? Ah. Onward to time killing. Coincidentally. Time. We can literally kill our own boss.
시간 끌 것 없이
Should we get a lucky crit? Ah, no lucky crit. Better with it.
지원일 뿐.
I'll have you handle that. Actually, this is my face skip him.
점 찍었네.
There you go, we'll just do that to handle the face skip. W. Sang. There we go. Crit onto crit onto crit. We do it on one of the attacks.
시간 끌 것 없이
Yeah, super true.
모조리 지워버려.
Destroying them with his mind. You know what I think I'm gonna do, chat? I think I might save this run for Monday. We'll finish the rest of it on Monday. I think that's the high Q. I'll get out of the normal mode and into infinite. Once we get into infinite, we'll save it for Monday. That is my team. Oh, we already are in infinite, but bio into what's tomorrow then? Well, I can't ruin the surprise now, can I? Yo ho 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 ho, yo ho ho ho! Can't ruin the surprise. I'll take this. Let me see if I can speed through some more fights. If I can speed through some fights, maybe we can end off on an extreme run. How can I speed through fights? I would need line packs. There's a line pack there. But I also want John's, dude. Oh, this could be so good, man. I want this. You know what? I want it, so I'm gonna go get it. We do have to find mannequins for this. I know I just said that, like, I might save this run, but now I'm after seeing John Virtue of Humanity, I'm remotivated. We're going for another, like, half hour. We'll go for, like, another half hour. Let's see how it goes. We don't need to do gimmicks. We can just fucking kill him. Yeah, block all you want, bro. You ain't blocking this. Chat, he blocked it. Oh god, he blocked it. He called my bluff.
완성되었나?
He called my bluff. He's gonna execute me with fucking hammers. Save me, Zedrin. Bow, 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 bow. Nice. Boop. Another Z-Tune save. Stun the power!
완성되었나?
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
무상은 없어. 불그대 지원해. 무상은 없어. 불그대 지원해뿐. 무상은 없어. 불그대 지원해. 불그대
What is Ishbel doing? She's doing high rock duties.
불그대 지원해뿐.
합격장. 좋아. 편하구만.
Bow, bow, bow.
점 찍어.
There we go.
시도는 좋았어요. 시도는 좋았어요.
Yeah.
합격장.
I know, right? The S2 goes so quick. Oh yeah, face my Gatling gun.
무상은
Sejun,
불그대 지원해뿐.
Sejun.
무상은 없어. 불그대 지원해뿐.
God damn. And after this, okay, we'll do a quick fight here.
작살.
The article, yeah, if you want the article, it's at the beginning of the stream. We did about 15 minutes into the stream, we started doing the article, and then about an hour, we started talking about the original interview. So if that's what you're interested in, I'll put timestamps at the end of the stream as well, which I think we'll end it after this floor and then save the rest of the floors for later. What is good when you are at 12? The 12 is a pretty much like, you know, you get like things like line 3 terminal, greenery.
모조리 지워버려.
You can do beautiful voice. You know, like all of the hard packs, like Impending Ruin, all of those hard ones that you can want to get out of the way to save the easy ones, you can do them because the biggest spike is 13.
가자, 죽이라.
I got this. I got this. Sever the nut. That guy took no damage. How cool they do it, truly? Very good.
무상은 없어. 불그대 지원해.
Screw my nuts.
무상은 목숨.
Very insane.
지원해뿐.
Alright, let's quickly make work of these mannequins. Beat up Albina and Ren. And get gaming.
무상은 없어.
Aya.
무상은 없어.
Aya.
비트야. 완성되었나?
시도는 좋았어요.
Ba-bam-ba-bam. Easiest for 15. Book of a Certain Librarian, C-Pack, N-Corp, Bridal of Infinity.
무상은 없어. 불그대 지원해. 무상은 없어.
Yeah, the facade system, it's just dumb fun, you know? It is just a fun system. Like, it's just fun.
무상은 없어. 무상은 없어. 불그대 지원해뿐.
합격장.
깔끔한 헤드샷. 머리통에 적살났다고.
비뚤어졌구려.
Bang, bang, bang. Stand the power.
시간 끌 것 없이
Drinking some water now.
모조리 지워버리죠. 무상은 없어. 불그대 지원해뿐.
Ah. Damn. I was thirsty as fuck. I always forget to drink water during streams. Well, I don't forget, but I always slack on my drinking during streams. I gotta make sure I do that. That's with how much I yap. Alright, mannequins are down. We are going to be jumping Albina and... question mark man. Now, do I actually benefit from the ego gift here? What is this? No, because it's the ring faction. We don't have a ring faction identity. We have a fake ring faction identity. This one would be good. Bam, bam. Nice. I mean, what's the real downside for this, but... branch, grab that. I think I said I wanted to do a fusion. I think I said Luna Memory, right? This would be a time to do some Luna Memories, if I can help it. You know, I say that, I really should have just fused the fucking... well, the sword, and I didn't, because I'm stupid. Okay, sundered. Oh, I needed that, okay. Please be the memory. Book of Vengeance. Damn you. Darn you. And that could be good. No, actually it can't. I lied. Broke a great... why, 10%? Damn you, Kim Ji-hoon! You're making me 10% in my Limbus company. Darn you! Darn you! Okay, there we go. Now we need rocks. Do I have rocks or anything? I have one rock. Again, another. Oh, we have 2 rocks. Yeah, I'll just do this. All right, bam, bam, boom, bam, boop. Luna memory. Ding. Now, we don't have the pierce thing, which we'll have to wait a little bit, unless we do a little bit of moon spread. What's on the Slay the Limbus 2 multiplayer? I've never played Slay the Spire 2, so I don't know. Hopefully good. Hopefully very good. Alright, we're gonna buy this. Buy a bunch of stuff that I can fuse with. Boing, 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 boing. I don't need this. The 2 that I don't need. Not really. Guess I'll get rid of this. Nah, that's good. Hooray! Alright, now we can go. I want fuse. I want to enhance. What better? You clear the clip, we get 2 skillings? Sure, why not? Okay, what does this do? It's 4 and 5, that's useless. This will be good because we get the poise gift. This is 4, 5, 6, but it does affect the third, so that's buffed. And obviously charge glove, yep. And alright, we need the poise and the spiderweb, which we get from the shop here. Not from the shop, the event reward.
가자. 죽이러.
Oh yeah. The audacity.
그려.
무상한 목숨 불끝의 지원 불끝의 지원 무상한 목숨
Nice.
불끝의 지원
Almost staggered. What does charge glove bring? It does give me a bit of offense up if I have.
점 찍었네.
If you max it out, it gives you some offense up, which is existing.
삐뚤어져 그려.
Also, it gives you charge to the whole team, which affects ego gifts.
사격 개시.
합격장.
Swiss Prince and Ankop is the same but better. That's funny. Alright. True, I am curious if they're gonna update the Envy Pekatorn. They might upgrade the tier 3 Pekatorn more so than the tier 2.
불끝의 지원일 뿐 무상한 목숨 불끝의 지원 무상한 목숨 불끝의
Whom says that? True.
이제야.
Oh, goodbye, Abana. Hello, John. Goodbye, John. Face my stand-up power.
삐뚤어져 그려.
소생의 쓸모는 다 하였으니 이만 물러나겠사옵니다.
There you go. Pretty good. Who has you to move like that? She's moving because she is very cute. We're gonna take someone's Azure Blade. Obviously, that's gonna give me freaking crit damage up, dude. Hell yeah. We're gonna have infinite poise, and we can get this defensive too. However, you know, we'll do a quick line through. You know, we'll do a quick do this line real quick. Boom. Egg time.
해냈어. 해결.
Bzz, bzz, bzz. Ooh, enhance buff too. I have a lot of stuff to enhance, so yeah. Done. You do actually inflict burn damage, so. Ishmael is a burn ID. Do that. The spider thread. Oh yeah, give me that rebate. Do damage up. Why not? 3 damage up. Why the hell not? Double bill and you. Well, I said I was gonna do it after that last one, but I mean, like, how can I not? This is the greed. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, we're good to go. We'll clear this floor real quick and then leave the deciding factor for later.
죽이라.
Why upgrade Sinclair? As a backup. In case shit goes down
점 찍었네.
and we need the virtue of humanity himself to enter and save us. He's my holy hand grenade. Just in case.
사격 개시.
무상은
Okay, that's another kill.
무상은 무상은 지원해 본.
Very nice. Ow. You think the base of the Sims will be buffed? I hope so.
사격 개시.
I definitely would like to see the base Sinner egos get like a uptime 5 or something. Or a thread sim 5.
무상은
Or get automatic 4 or have IDs, the base IDs get like a 2-star converted. I think if you could convert the... I think if they want to convert the base IDs into 2 stars, that could be a thing they could do.
개시.
최근은 좋았어요.
좋아. 탄하구만.
최근은 좋았어요.
좋아. 깔끔한 헤드샷.
The spray and pray, buddy.
잘났다고.
Indiscriminate shot.
사격 개시.
무상은 불그릇 지원해 본. 무상은 불그릇 지원해 본. 무상은 불그릇 지원해 본.
Oh yeah.
이제야 완성되었나? 이제야.
Dude, it feels so quicker with that. Again, all placebo, but it feels so quick, especially with Z-Tune.
무상은 무상은 불그릇 지원해 본.
Nice.
무상은 불그릇 지원해 본. 무상은 불그릇 지원해 본.
이제야 완성되었나?
Boop.
점 찍었네. 이제야 완성되었나?
There we go. That was a fucking insanely quick line through. You see how quick this run can go? It went expensive as shit. Pretty much. Just bang, bang, bang. And get me bang, bang with you two. Oh, hey, look, piece of relationship. You know what I mean? I'm going so fast in my run. I mean, I can just do the end of this floor. You know, I could just quickly do the end of this floor too. This is Shock's head. I mean, I should be able to one-shot Shock's. Actually, can I one-shot his head? Maybe if I get crits. Give me crits.
점 찍었네.
Yes, I did. Up the shield. Think you thread a needle. Why does the Siki keep asking for 9 IDs? Once you have more. Because it's greedy. Its greed sickens me.
사격 개시.
Very nice. The Honda. The thing about Encore Massol is the only thing that's bad about it is he has season 0 numbers. Like coins. If he had his coin power adjusted, even to be that of a 2-star of today's age, he would be perfectly amazing.
가자. 죽이라.
Actually, I'm pretty sure the first banner of the game was G Corp Gregor. But he was definitely in the early game.
점 찍었네.
무상한 물끝 무상한 물끝 무상한 물끝 지원할 뻔.
이제야 완성되었네.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Oh look, if you need an identity to do nothing in life but just tank every single hit that he takes, Ncorp will do that for you. Not only that, but if you have nails for whatever reason, like you use Ncorp, his skill too is one of the best debuffs. You just need nails in the enemy. You was in the pool? Oh, okay.
시간 끌 것
On launch.
없이
Oh, I don't know. I never played on launch, so I have no idea.
무상한 물끝
Does Faust have aggro? Exactly.
지원할 뻔.
She has assist guard though. Right, we'll just ignore that.
물끝 지원할 뻔.
합격장.
Nice. Tanking doesn't have a usage? Oh, tanking definitely has a usage. I mean, if you're playing story mode, yeah, tanking probably doesn't have a usage, but even still, there are plenty of instances where you just want to get hit and just let your team wail into something. Especially if I'm doing like extreme and stuff, yeah, I do that. I actually need tanks all the time.
가스 점화 엔진 시동.
Ncorp.
점 찍었네.
Bow, 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 bow.
지원할
Da, 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 da.
무슨
점 찍었네.
Oh, I got staggered. They're stabbing me. There are some fights in story where, like, for instance, mannequins, dude. I would love to have a tank in mannequin fights. Or
시간 끌 것 없이
GMU is a good area, is a good fight to have a tank in because she has a lot of attack. Anything that has a lot of attacks takes a long time. You kind of want like a tank to deal with it. Obviously, the archetype is different now. It's not like my only purpose is tanking, but things like Lamp Gregor, he's a good tank because he is like, I take the hits for you. I get the lamp. Hey buddy, you passed.
가스 점화 엔진 시동.
What's the point of having a tank if you don't need a tank? Okay, well that's why I said, the archetype of a tank is that is their like, the tank doesn't mean you don't do anything but block. Like, that's not what a tank does. A tank is someone who can get hit, and if they can get hit, isn't going to get screwed over.
완성되었나.
Or they greatly benefit from being hit. One of those versions.
무상한 물끝 지원할 뻔. 무상한 물끝 지원할 뻔.
Like, they're gonna still function normally. They're gonna have damage, they're gonna have clash, they're gonna have all of this, you know, coins, they're gonna have a negative effects. That's what every ID in the game does, right? But some characters like Full Stop Heath, as you can see, is a very high stagger threshold.
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 지워버리자. 무상한 물끝
완성되었나? 합격장.
It's me.
무슨
Let me though. Don't kill my teacher, please. Teacher, no! Oh wait, I have revives. I'm chilling. Funnily enough, we are in fact using a really good tank. Full stop. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Where is this? Just in case we get something. I think we're chill now. Pretty sure now we can just get whatever we want or upgrade. Some burn stuff. There we go. Do a little enhance. That's gonna buff Z-Tune. This is gonna buff the whole team. Buff Boon. A little healing is a treat. I also should get the fusion stuff for Pierce. Great. Oh, I still also need the Pierce thing. How could I forget? Oh, I did not mean to do that. Oops. Oh, that's unfortunate. Guess I already had it. Didn't even realize.
가스 점화. 엔진 시동.
Bow, bow, bow. Oh, hi, Shucks and Vid.
사격 개시.
Bang, 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 and bang. Up.
무상한 목숨 불끄듯 지원해. 불끄듯 지원해. 불끄듯 무상한 목숨. 불끄듯 지원해.
Oh my god, you got this. Break the shield. You fraud. Now I have to do the gimmick. God damn it.
합격장.
Nice. Oh.
무상한 목숨 불끄듯 지원해. 불끄듯 지원해. 불끄듯 무상한 목숨. 불끄듯 지원해. 무상한 목숨. 불끄듯
Nice.
불끄듯 무상한 목숨. 불끄듯 지원해.
사격 개시.
Oh my goodness, stun the power. There you go. And he dies. Excellent. Great job. Now let's grab our 2 tier 4s and we'll call it there. We pick this up later. How much damage up to? This would be a good Shadowbound upscale. Oh, you know what? I mean, we might as well clear the final floor. I mean, it is the final floor after all. I mean, you know. I mean, like, you know, we might as well. I mean, like, we might as well. What do we even do for the final floor? I mean, we could go here, get this faith. It is kind of funny. Also, that's wine. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's go away. How's Omnitool? I actually really like Omnitool. I think Omnitool is really good, especially if you don't have Lunar Memory or you get Lunar Memory super late. Obviously, Lunar Memory is the best one because it makes everything weak. But if you're doing the no Lunar Memory challenge, Omnitool is very, very good and will get you to the damage type weakness that you need. Let's do some ego this fight. Will Gregor save Charge Society? I feel like Charge Society's been saved for a while now, but you know what? To spread the agenda? Sure. Oop. Wait, no Luna was a challenge? Yeah, you have to do a floor 15 with no Luna memory. Now, you don't have to do 50 adversity. But that's how losers, that's how quitters think. I did that shit 50 adversity on the first day because that was awesome. It's fun. We have a W Corp side banner? No. I don't think there'll be a side banner in this one because they would have said it. Unless I don't believe so. We already had a W Corp side banner back in the Buckak rerun. We had a W Corp banner during the W Corp Buckak. And we've already had a Hong 1 and a High Show run back, so I don't think we're gonna have any more. Nice. Stab, stab, stab. Nice. The Handora. Nice. Good. Is that Pequod? Yes, we are. We are doing Pequod. I just got back after reading the articles, getting a lot of insight in the company as a whole. I think it's really inspiring how persistent they are. Yeah, it's really good to have the like all of the history and the knowledge as like on the forefront when talking about stuff. So it's like, wow, you have like context. You can see how easily everything makes sense, like how everything slots into place. It's just like, wow, man. Turns out it's not that complicated. Too soon as she locked in. Like, this unfortunately doesn't help us. This is useless to us. Sang, nope. Hey, there's faith in the shop. Yeah, sure, buddy. Why not? Grab it. Grab this again. Yeah. Grab that. We'll bleed. Nice. Very good, very good. Ah, a little naughty. Okay, enhance time. Obviously gonna enhance the relationship. Oh, and I get a free money moves, babe. I think we're good. Yeah, we got the Quadrigus. We actually started with all of the we started the mirror dungeon with the crown, the harpoon, and the leg. So we could have a get him we had everything by like floor 3 pretty much. It was really nice. The horse is here. Alright, horse time. Potentially could be actually really scary, by the way, because I'll be like, he actually hurts. Like, this is no meme. This guy actually hurts. He might kill my Yisang. Well, kill my Yisang, quote unquote. Little does he know we are all immortal. Nice. A few crits. Owie. He's on. Ow. He's good. Alright. Go Ishmael. Stagger the beast. Good stagger. Great stagger. Damn! Goodbye way. And, well, we're gonna leave it there because that is floor 10 done. Extreme. Grab this and then we'll decide. I do like going bridal first now because of this. Let's see if we get invaded. If we don't get invaded. Okay, just transport. Go Heath. Nice. And last one, Invader. No Invader. We got Yearning. What do I look for Manic Trials? I always go for Growth Resilience. Growth Resilience is the best stuff to get, because no matter what, it'll always be the cheapest, the least ones that have the consequences. Very nice, you don't want consequences. I'm already at the shop. I might as well finish the floor. No, no, no. This is a bridal. This is gonna take a while. There we go. Alright, we'll leave it here. It could go on longer, but obviously, we will save the rest of this. We'll save the finale for this probably for Monday. And then finish the rest of the kit. Or tomorrow, whatever we decide to do. We'll never see you guys. But guys, that is going to be it for today. Today, guys, was mostly just doing the discussion about the article and the interview. This was the bonus on top. And it's pretty good. We'll finish this most likely either tomorrow or Monday. And then obviously we'll be doing something new. Tomorrow... the kits will be out on Monday, obviously, so we'll be there to analyze them on Steam and also make a video on it. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a good one. If you are interested in any of the article or stuff below, I'll just timestamp them, and so you can always go back. Maybe, who knows, we'll see. All right, take care guys, you have a good one. Bye bye.